All right, finna deal with astral traveling. Can y'all hear me? Everybody else, y'all can hear? All right, there we go. Yep, I hear you. All right, we're gonna start. All right, so uh, can somebody tell me what astral traveling is? And what does that mean? It goes where? Okay. Why? Hmm? Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that would be used. That would be the point of knowing any of this. Why these things happen. So let's say you could do a detailed book breakdown of what these things are. It's irrelevant if you don't have access to them and understand the purpose. But the good news is that's why you're here. And I'm finna explain this to you. First, we have to understand what the astral world is. The astral world is still a part of this third dimensional illusion. The astral world is not real. Let me say it again. The astral world is not real. Most people think the astral world is some sort of level to resonate on. You don't go in there when you're in sleep mode, as you pointed out. You go there when you sleep. You can also raise your consciousness there or your spirit there when you're in different forms of meditation, do different forms of practice. The astral world is not a destination. Again, it's an aspect of third dimension. It is a more etheric aspect of this dimension. It is the aspect of this reality where, for lack of a better word, your thought resides in. Technically, your spirit. Now, this is the first thing you need to understand about yourself to understand the why aspect of this world. The first thing you need to understand about yourself is that there are pretty much three parts of you, or three categories, because the spirit, has seven layers. And I'm sure whatever philosophy you're looking at, they can tell you, well, no, it really has 13. No, it really has 9. So you're going on for days. Whatever you decide to study and decide to vibrate with, knock yourself out. It's not for me to determine that for you. But what we're getting down is to the raw science. So when I speak, I'm speaking in categories. And the specifics is something you can undertake on your own. And that's the beauty of a true teacher, which I like to pattern myself under. True teaching, which is allow the student to become a teacher, as opposed to me telling you a philosophy that you need to hold on to, that you need to feel you can debate with, because I'm undebatable, because I don't give a shit what your choices make. I don't get to tell you that you're a god, then tell you what's an absolute fact or absolute way of being. What I get to tell you is how to research for yourself and come up with your own determinations. So that's why I want to take a little time to talk about something you need to understand when you do study. Something called source information and something called, I guess you could say, the author's interpretation. Source information are tangible things that you can observe yourself and look at that particular thing and say, it's there, it exists, the ancient people must have did it. And certain things are undisputed when you speculate. For instance, the pyramids are there. No matter how many white people write books on it, no matter how many times you complain, well, it's a white man writing the book, the source information is the pyramids is there. What people are confusing source information sometimes with, and they're shitting on every form of written document, is because they confuse the author's interpretation of that source information. That's something that should be questioned, challenged, and you should only take as that person's experience. Take that, in other words, take those books of the author's interpretation, which are quite a few, for what it's worth. For what it's worth. Research the author and perhaps say, well, this author is pretty much trustworthy. His interpretation is valid based upon his scholarship or based upon his experience, and I take it for what it's worth. At the same time, you're supposed to be building up techniques to go within to find your own answers. Until you are on that level of the game, you're going to have to rely on other people's experience. Secondly, and firstly, source information. Source information. So you need to be able to determine the difference between source information and the difference between the author's interpretation. And I can add a third thing, theory. Theory. So once you identify what this author is presenting you, see, take like the white man Joseph Campbell. Because he's went around the world and searched mythologies, he's bringing a lot of source information on the mythology of the worlds based upon firsthand research. But then he also adds his interpretation of that collective research. So know the difference between the two. When you're reading a book on mythology, for instance, when I read the Ramayana, it's a direct interpretation of the mythology. Therefore, I can read the mythology and come up with my own interpretations of what Hanuman represents, what Sita represents, what Rama represents, what the demons represent. So I come up with an interpretation on the Ramayana, and I could just read the Ramayana. I could read pyramid texts and then people's interpretation of it. You need to know the difference in your research, in your study. This is what the author is saying, and this is where the Pleiades star system is based upon observation and this general consensus. Know the difference. Because if you don't know the difference, you're going to hear things like, well, the aura has 7 layers. No, but according to the Dravidians, the aura has 9 layers. No, according to the Druids, the aura has 13 layers. And you'll be sitting and fighting with these interpretations until you actually get to the level where you hear so many contradictions when you realize, oh, I get it. And you don't even have to realize this. It has been said, if you study hard enough, none of these people in the ancient days had a debate. They were all working, trying to explain in whatever context, whatever lifestyle, whatever region of the world, whatever fashion or fad of the day was, through whatever system it was of that day. They were trying to explain concepts that to put it in the grasp of the people that they were talking to. The same way when I talk to you, I cuss, I use hip hop references, we talk dick and pussy, nigga and bitch shit, all that stuff that these conscious people who are trying to live a social conscious life. So, it's too much cursing. Why these women hoes and men dogs and niggas bitches? If you buy into this particular concept of bad and good, foul, and we're beyond that. We should be beyond that. But we do understand this is our social way of making certain points. Or social way, at least I make certain points. And I'm speaking towards people who've been hearing these things all their life. So the Druids have a certain lifestyle, and certain things were foul to them at the day. The Dravidian people, let's just say, or Ethiopian people, or Nubian people, or the Kemetic people, had different social systems. Things to them that probably mean absolutely nothing to you were considered edgy. And what I'm saying may to some be considered edgy, and the most, they don't really care. The point is, we're all trying to communicate to take complex issues and make them accessible. And to make them accessible, you use or mask high science in the language that makes it the common everyday. So the person who has problems with me cursing made a decision based upon their interpretation of consciousness. And not to say one is right or one is wrong. In other words, to say I don't care. And if you made that decision, you don't have to even make a comment that you don't like that I'm cursing. What I'm doing is not for you. There's people I've seen, well, I don't really resonate with panic, and write a whole long paragraph on YouTube, nonetheless, about how they don't resonate. Well, the solution is simple. Any way that you can possibly have the opportunity to resonate me comes from you taking the time to listen to me in something that is free. So it's quite simple. Pay me no mind. It is not for you. It doesn't resonate with you spiritually, because this is my entire intention coming out my mouth is a spiritual interpretation of this information. And if it doesn't resonate with you, your spirit is telling you it's not the right. So if you deep and you complex and it doesn't resonate with you, listen to your spirit. I urge you. This is my whole entire point. So I'm not going to try to change or adapt or explain what I mean on my point or argue my point. My point is spiritual. And if your spirit isn't into it, then we have our answer. We already have our answer. We don't need 3-page comments of you explaining how deep you and profound you are and how profound I'm not. It's not for you. I promise you. There are enough people that I can get along without you. And the only person I care to impress, her name is Khadija, and she's upstairs. And she's already my wife, so I already did a good job. So there's no more people I need to impress. We need to really put in a context the understanding of what's being done here. There's no right and there's no wrong in the let's just say in the context of this message. In the context of true metaphysics, there's no right and wrong, because what's right to you may be wrong to the next person. So everybody comes down here with a purpose. My purpose is to teach. I have a knack for taking complex issues and making them smaller. That's what I'm here to do. If it doesn't resonate, it's not supposed to resonate. And the same thing goes for your study. If you're reading a book and what he's saying is resonating with you, that author, even in his interpretation, may have tapped into something that your spirit is hearing. So it manifests as, I'm liking this. It's making sense to me. The same way you may read a book of this another author's interpretation and say, this don't make no kind of sense. That's your spirit keeping you out of it. Your spirit is saying, I don't like panic. And it has nothing. I recognize that as nothing personal. That's your spirit either saying one or two things. I already heard this message and I don't need it. Therefore, I don't like panic. He curses to whatever. Or your spirit is not ready to hear this message, which is pretty much the same thing. So I'm not going to take it personal. Don't waste your time on YouTube. If you're advanced, then I believe you even replying to me is on YouTube or wherever to give your 2 cents about how you feel is irrelevant. It should be beneath you, because I promise you this. There's not one comment you can see me talking about someone's spiritual work that's beneath me. That's beneath me. So once you understand the difference between author's interpretation, theory, and source information, when you're doing your study, you can feel where it's coming from and you would know how to act and react. That's why you got to know these authors. If Bobby did nothing else for me, he gave me the climate of the authorship of the entire occult, or as much as we possibly could in the time we shared, the occult climate, what these authors are, what school they came from, what they're proposing, what got them attention, so on and so forth, where they stand in the particular game. So for instance, let's take John Anthony West, who is the son-in-law of another author called Swallow DeLubis. Swallow DeLubis was the first one to connect the Temple of Luxor with man. It's also called the Temple of Man. And so their source information, this temple, he was able to have come across an understanding. And then with source information, the temple itself, he was able to show and prove how these things corresponded with the Temple of Man. So he's now laying a theory. I believe this is the Temple of Man. This is a man. This was initiation symbol, and this and that. But with the source information, he's able to walk you through and make some very strong cases where certain things actually start to become obvious or undisputable, or no one can offer any other theory besides what he had, and there was no theory prior to him first saying, this is the Temple of Man. So that's what kind of stuff you need to know when you're studying. Because I get this whole thing, we don't need books, we're beyond the books, the white man created the books. Any white man who's writing a book is only writing on your stuff. They have no stuff to write about. They have no perspective to write about. They stole your perspective, masqueraded as if it was something out of their perspective. And we as black folks, even the conscious aficionados, still say, well, that's a white man's perspective. No, his perspective is savagery and animal. Boom. So savagery and animal has no place in the book unless you're writing a book about savagery and animalistic behavior. Even the Nazi shit, if I had the time to go in it, is still our shit. The Aryans are black people. The Aryan people are one of the 7 seed races that was found by Eleanor Blavatsky, or revealed to her when she was allowed to go into those Tibetan temples and study. She studied some documents, and she wrote in a book called The Secret Doctrine about the seven seed races, and she wrote about the Aryan race was the race that was going to bring back conscious information to the planet. Technically, I'm an Aryan because I'm bringing conscious information. Bobby's an Aryan. Phil's most of these teachers would fit under that prophecy. But because she was German, and the Germans are from, or their bloodline is from Northern Europe, which is Scandinavia, which is the Denmark, I believe, Swedes, Norway. They call it the Norrishmen. Out of that, there's a mythology for them. They were the ones to hold on to so-called paganism longer than the other whites who got Christianized and Catholicized. So they became the last holdouts and fought a lot of the Christians, were the conquerors, were the Vikings, still under paganism, under Norse mythology, or what they call Scandinavian mythology, which is the Odin, Thor, Loki, Freya, Frida, and the giants, the dwarves, the black dwarves, the elves, in the nine worlds, so on and so forth. While we're on the subject, in Sweden, which is Scandinavian mythology, Norse mythology, is where they decided to build that collider to try to map the beginning of the universe, to find the God particle, understand it, and then time travel and so on and so forth. That thing is a big tube. It's actually a bridge. In Scandinavian mythology, which Sweden is a part of, they have something called the Bifrost Bridge. I did a lecture on that for Ragnarok and when Guru died, and they showed you that in Thor, the Bifrost. Why are they building this? Because that's the ritual, because they're trying to build a Bifrost bridge to connect the worlds. See, if you know this mythology, you would know everything in astrophysics is ran on our mythology. So nothing they do is new. When you watch Tyson, the black astrophysicist, which they like to parade because he's a Negro and he's an astrophysicist, so he's on all the shows. He has a few shows. He tells you how they reference mythology all through astrophysics, and then they have this scientific interpretation of astrophysics, the quantum world, what do they call it? It's astrophysics. It's the physics of an atom, the physics of this universe, basically. Quarks and so on, dimensions. And they tell you all the Sumerian mythology that coincides with it. And they expect you to believe they did all this science and found all this out. And then the mythology just happens to be lined up. They made no strides in none of this astral work. They're making you believe something's going on, but they're waiting for something to happen. All the information they got is from us, the source information. Source information. In fact, there's a book by Douglas Stratham or something like that. But the Dogon, Signs and Symbols of the Dogon. He did another Dogon book. With the Dogon, and we're going to talk about the Dogon, like I pointed out last week. With the Dogon, what they found, there was two explorers. Don't ask me their little French names, but they did a book called The Pale Fox. You can easily get Marcos, Cabios, and some other shit. But what it was, before the Hubble Space Telescope, or whatever space telescope was the big one, I believe it was Hubble, they went and spent time with the Dogon for this 50-year Siggy ceremony that, again, only happens 50 years. And in it, the elders, for the first time, shared Dogon mythology with these white men, and they documented it. They came out with this book, The Pale Fox, telling about the creation and so on and so forth. Then after the telescope And we started seeing deeper into Orion and all of these other star systems, Pleiades, Polaris, all these constellations and star systems. What they found out is the shit that the Dogon was saying was so on point and so detailed, it now became, how the fuck would they know it? You know, of course, they said, because we're from it. But of course, they're not going to believe that. So you got a whole bunch of books saying some aliens came and gave that shit to the Dogon and so on and so forth. So forth. Now, Stratton, on the other hand, like John Anthony West and Squalor DeLucas, and I'm going to still tell you about John Anthony West, certain guys, they're just, look, this shit, Richard Hoagland, that's another one, Lon Milo Duquette, Semi, they're the white scholars who said, look, this is nigga shit. We're going to just admit it. While the other agenda is like, never admit it's nigga shit. We have to present it as if we're breaking through to something. But they're saying it's nigga shit. Niggas already figured this one out. So when Squalor DeLucas said the Temple of Man, like there's a detailed hieroglyph of a sperm cell, and supposedly no one, people who didn't have magnification or telescope. See, that's how sick they are. There's actual a hieroglyph of a sperm cell on the wall. Actual hieroglyph in the Temple of Luxor, which is the Temple of Man. Is it Temple? Yeah, Temple of Luxor, I think. I confused that shit. But the Temple of Man, the one, Luxor, there's a sperm cell on the actual wall. And these people are saying, we don't know how they got it because they didn't have any telescopes or any way to see it. Like, at the very least, in logic. Now, I could say they went in, they just had this information before they got here. They got it spiritually. They got it from the astral world. We could say all of those things. And all those things could be very well true. But let's go with their form of thinking. If because they're not even thinking anything spiritually, they're thinking logically. So logically, if it's up there, then they absolutely positively had a way to see a telescope. You ain't gonna tell me that you build a pyramid and these niggas ain't have the science of a telescope technology. But that's what they will tell you. So I could see why people don't want to buy in the books of this white man, because they tell you a lot of the different lies. You can decipher through those lies through common sense information. For instance, the worst show that I can't believe how this thing has lasted this long is on the History Channel, Aliens, Ancient Aliens. When that dude with the funny hair sits there, in every single thing that the white man cannot explain on planet Earth, the aliens came and did it. No niggas. The aliens came and did it. But, and Vic, as you said, you hate that show. If you buy into his argument, you will hate that show. But if you watch that show, what they consistently do is display and expose miraculous shit all throughout the planet that even I sit there and go, wow, I didn't know that. They left that part out. See, they can do that on that show because they're going to blame it on aliens and not leave it to chance that a nigga did it. When they do it on these shows and they don't have the alien theory going on, then you have to say, well, the only people in that region were black people, so they must have did it. So when they say the aliens, that's another way of saying I could tell you anything because I could blame it on anybody but black people. So I get a pass to tell you how miraculous. Ain't no 7 wonders of the world. There's thousands, hundreds, if not thousands of wonders in this world. It's only a wonder to them, and it's just forgotten information to us. But it's inside. We don't know who and what we are to know how to access it, and that's what this class offers. That's what we're getting here. Source information. So, Squalor DeLucas' nephew, Squalor DeLucas, again, you still can get his books, married, his daughter married this guy named John Anthony West, who's well known in his own. John Anthony West stirred up a bunch of hoopla because he told all these Egyptologists, which are all either paid agents or just dumb, that's why they're in their position, that that dude with the fucking hat, he's an idiot. He said the Sphinx is older than the pyramids. They were not built at the same time. And he brought a geologist with him, and they did all these studies, and what they found is the Sphinx has water damage. The pyramid does not. And lo and behold, they went through a whole thing, a whole a whole debates, and all of this about the water on the Sphinx, and then they dated it back at least 25,000 years before the pyramids. Which, if that puts the Sphinx older, then it makes shit, fuck Egypt, it makes mankind older in a different concept. Which is, we as black people know we're older than 2,000 years. If they documented 25,000 years in a great year for this universe to make one cycle, to say it's 25,000 years, they had to go through at least two to say, yeah, now it's true. You can't go through it once and say, well, we went through it once. We have to see if it's true. Then the second time you go, yes, it's 25,000. So that's at least 50 there. The book, The Children of Mu, I think that's Rudolf Steiner, tells you, no, this is millions of years old. And that would ring true. That's why we are asleep and have amnesia. We've been down here so fucking long. We've been down here so long. Now, I brought up to John Anthony West because if he did write a whole book on the Sphinx being older, that's pretty much his work. That's still considered source information. He has no horse in this race to tell you misinformation. There's plenty of misinformation, but the true misinformation, all they have to say is these words for black people to keep them out of it. Baphomet. And you won't read it. And then that's where they could put all your information that you no longer have access to because you no longer run the planet. You no longer run the planet. There we go. Add him now. Because you no longer run the planet. What they can do, they can hide it in plain sight. Your greatest problem is how many times Quentin Tarantino said nigga in his movie. What Spike Lee is talking about in the new movie, and Madea goes Christmas shopping. So source information is what y'all niggas need to deal with. Now, this is where all the visualizations and all the practices we discussed so far come in when you're dealing with source information. That's when, if you can, because all of these things are in you. If Del Warren is a guy who built the pyramid in Mexico, and I've never met him, but what he's learned from building the pyramid, or what he's documented with his mind from building the pyramid, is now in a pool of Akasha that Mike King has access to, even though Mike King not lives somewhere in Cambodia. So when they say, well, how the pyramids are the same size, same understanding, but people will halfway around the world, because we know how to speak through each other to where? The astral world. The astral world, again, is a more etheric form of this illusion. So, first thing you need to know before we get into the details of the astral world is what? You have three parts of you, as I started to bring up. Those three categories, and I bring up categories because, again, you can always find somebody to argue with it. You don't want to buy into arguments. You want to understand the concept of what I'm saying. And you want to grab concepts, because when you get into particulars, you will always find someone in opposition to you. That's the nature of humanity. And if you're trying to be humans, then you should find details and pick an argument. But if you're trying to ascend past the human thought process of polarity, which is guaranteed argument, you understand concepts as a vehicle for you to gain light. Concepts as a vehicle for you to gain light, not particulars as a theory for you to have a social position to gain arguments, debates. Concepts to gain light. So the concept where, again, you may say 7 layers here or 13 layers, 9. No, just know there are more layers to your fucking aura. You understand? If you get into particular that you can hold on to, sure, fine. When somebody else debates it, you shouldn't be interested in debating. Does it work for you? Then it's working. We don't play that human shit here. That don't work here. Law don't go here. Y'all ever see a Tombstone? Law don't go here. No, it's Law don't go here. They call him Law Dog. Law don't go here. That shit don't fly here. It shouldn't fly with you. You let the dogs fight over the bone. You the butcher. You get the prime cuts. Prime cuts is light. Not arguing an argument for the sake of arguing under this illusion that you are somehow helping or saving your people. I don't give a fuck about you. Niggas, I believe I give you more credit because I believe you could save yourself. I believe we are sleeping. I believe we are under mind control. So those of us who may be a little bit more awake or made a little bit more progress, if they decide to share how you can wake yourself up, not wake you up. I'm not here to wake any other nigga up. I'm here to try to give you tools to wake yourself up. You would take them or you don't take them. My philosophy is my own. I'm the only one that's supposed to convince myself of how I see things. So understand when I give you source information, my interpretation, my theory, or but primarily you're here, and primarily my goal is to give you out techniques, source information, so you can go home and try it yourself. Everything you learned in this class, I told you don't need no books for this class. You can get them afterwards, but what you're going to get is technique. So you have to have a core understanding. That's why I asked that first. What's the astral world? Which everyone's going to give me that determination, because if you got Wikipedia, you should be able to answer that. But what Wikipedia doesn't answer, and when I ask the question, you get the same thing. Why would you do it? That's where it pauses. Because we don't even know why we're doing this shit anymore. And that's the problem. That's the problem. We have to understand, what's your agenda? What is the astral world? I told you, you can give me the textbook definition. If I ask you the textbook definition of divine feminine, you can give me everything Wikipedia says, the great mother, the number 0, negative polarity, the alpha and omega. Then you can say, well, I believe she's God. Her uterus can create babies without men, and fibroids are really babies. And that's great. But when you know it, say, what's the great feminine? Oh, that's my motherfucking mother. She's in the kitchen cooking right now. That same thing is another way of saying, I know it. I can give you detail because I have experience with it. So when somebody starts running that, what are your chakras, vortexes, energy centers? I'm like, nah. You know what I'm saying? You telling me from a book, you don't know it. When you explain things like you know it, Malcolm X said that. You should be able to explain this so a child can hear. You should be able to explain it like a child. Anything that I'm talking about, I can explain to you like a 3-year-old. I can explain to a 3-year-old. Taking complex informations, that's when they said, well, break that down, son. Well, that's what it means. You took an information and you're able to put it in your own words based upon something you've been doing. So, this is what you need to understand. There are three parts of you: body, spirit, soul. Body, spirit, soul. Ba, ka, and there was a name for the body too. Sa was blood, but I think they used to also, the Camites used to also attach Sa to the body. Someone told me that, I'm not sure. But Ba and Ka, we do know is soul and spirit. Now, we're going to get the body out the way. The body never leaves the physical plane. The body never leaves the physical plane. My soul is tired of incarnating here. That's how I've always felt. I'm over this bullshit. What technique to blow this joint? Actually, if you listen, you would realize that's actually an ignorant statement. Your soul doesn't even realize what's going on. So again, all this stuff that you're saying and making statements of, it's like we're just used to saying that. So I want you to think about what you just said. My soul is tired of incarnating here. I always felt I'm over the bullshit. What's the technique to blow this joint? The question becomes, what the fuck are you here for then? So that's loaded, because that kind of says, well, you must feel that something is keeping you here. What's keeping you here? You must feel that you're trapped here then. If you need a technique to leave, why don't you just leave? I thought you were God. So these type of statements that are usually said over and over to me in consciousness, and why I'm having this class is because no one knows what the fuck they're talking about. No one knows what it means. And I'm actually in the middle of trying to give you the understanding of how these things work. So when, after you understand how this works, when you, instead of saying this, you get to go, oh, I get what I'm doing here. I get that I could leave anytime. Again, they told you this in The Wizard of Oz. You could have left and went home at any time. But you have to go through this adventure because that's the point. So you chose to be down here. You don't need a technique to get out. You chose to be down here to learn this now. So we keep making these statements that we can't really back the fuck up. That's what I'm in the middle of talking about right now. I hear all these statements, but then when I wipe it away, so why are you doing it then? Why do you want to do that? Well, what does that mean? See, you don't get it twisted. Before me and Bobby became friends, I heard hundreds of his lectures. Hundreds of his lectures that are not YouTube. So there's nothing, y'all, Bobby, Phil, all of them. So there's nothing that's not going to be said where I really don't know where, I know where you got it from. Learn these concepts. When you understand these concepts and the nature of these concepts, then you won't even never have to ask me a question like this or anything like this or anybody. You'll know that answer within. See, because I can really go deep and go, well, explain to me what a soul is. I already know the answer. You don't know it. I know that. The most advanced gurus in the world have all made, we will never know what our soul is. The concept of that soul or that light is too complex for you to even be getting a reason. The more correct way to say that, which is still I'm not co-signing with, is your spirit is tired of being here. And that's what I'm in the middle of explaining. Your body, your soul, and your spirit. 3 different things. Now let me continue. Your body, we're going to end this, never leaves planet Earth. Never leaves planet Earth. When you die, it stays here. Your soul is the only thing about you that's indestructible, unbreakable, and unchangeable, I guess in the context of life and death. The soul, the way it's spoke about in all occult, and where it's spoke about the most in occult understanding, is Gnosticism. And I'm going to tell you why. Gnosticism is one of those things that emerged later day because it was found, the scrolls, or the Dead Sea Scrolls, or what they call the Nag Hammadi Library, was found in Nag Hammadi, Egypt. So they were unable to tamper with them. We're going to get back to that. I want to break down these three things. So what you get is the soul as more of a concept describing the true you, not being able to be manipulated in the context of your feeling. So you won't be able to say, my soul feels like it wants to leave. That wouldn't be, your spirit may feel that way. Your soul would not. Your soul is that instructible true you, that divine spark of light that can join with the greatest part. That is the God light in you. That is the God particle that they're looking for, is the soul, is the divine spark of light that all things exist. This thing resides within you. And when it's all said and done, it's able to join the great masses. If anybody has watched Star Trek Deep Space Nine, one of my favorite Star Treks, I watched them all. Deep Space Nine was the brothers on the space station who was the captain who found a wormhole that was stable. So they used to go in and out of this wormhole. And what they were encountering in this universe was a little bit more complex than what was already in the complex diversity of the universe we were already in. One of the guys on the ship was a shapeshifter. And his whole entire story, because he didn't know where he was from, his origins, but he was a bad motherfucker, Odo. And it turns out, as they went through the series, all 9 of them, or 8 or 9 of them, he was from the other side of that wormhole, and he was from a group, because, you know, shapeshifters, they could turn into this goo. And in fact, when he was at rest, he kept no shape. He was a pile of goo. He joined this great goo, or this goop, back with his people, which was the collective. So they said in the show, because they're telling you our story yet again, that this great big pool, which is the first thing in existence, they said, this slime, this cosmic slime that was able to separate and turn into individuals and shapeshift, he said, we sent the youngest of us out throughout the universe. He said, we sent the youngest of us out through the universe. He said, for what? Just to see if they can get back, not knowing who or what they were. This is the same story. That's what they're trying to tell you. That's what the Masons are trying to tell you, that Hiram Habib got bumped on the head, lost his memory to 3 guys, the 3 ruffians. That's third dimension. They're saying you forgot who you are in third dimension. All of this concept is trying to tell you about the separation. Now, when you hear our concepts or further concepts, because see, those concepts are telling you how you got lost. But there are also concepts, source information that tell you how to find yourself. And to tell you how to find yourself, they have to break down the parts of yourself that you're fighting for, which is what I'm trying to tell you right now. Your body, soul, and spirit. Now, your soul is that undeniable endgame that joins the collective source, your true light, unable to die. Your body, we know, dies, but your spirit can also die as well. And that's where it gets complex. Your body lives on earth, but your spirit lives in the astral world. That's where your spirit lives. Now, every night you close your eyes to go to sleep, you astral travel. Your spirit leaves the body and goes into the astral world. It goes and it leaves through your solar plexus. And there's a invisible cord attached to it. When you wake up, your soul comes back in your body. Now, your soul comes back in your body in layers. You've experienced that. People have said to me, Patty, there's times I woke up, I open my eyes and I can't move for a while. I feel paralyzed, or it feels like something's on my body. What is that? Well, that's something called sleep paralysis. And your body usually wakes up in stages. But if your spirit isn't back in the body fully and you regain consciousness, you're not able to animate yourself. Your spirit animates you. And when it's not in the body, you can't move. We can't fully move, let's just say, consciously. Now, what's happening is, again, your spirit's going to the astral world, coming back, astral world, coming back. What astral traveling is, or the technique of astral traveling, is while this process, which happens every night you go to sleep since you've been on planet Earth, how to become conscious in this process. Really, all you're really doing is trying to bring some of the consciousness that you leave on Earth with you in the astral world. So much so that you're a little bit more aware while you're in the dream state. A little bit more aware while you're in the dream state. So, astral traveling, or reading on techniques and practicing techniques of astral traveling, is just nothing more than trying to say, how do I bring this guy, this ego that I call panic, in the dream world so he can see what's going on, so when he wakes up, he can retain more. Because when you're in the astral world, the world of thought, you're in the world of your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is talking to you. Remember, our entire game is to do what? Make contact with the subconscious mind. Input and output. So everything I've taught you so far has how to input it. By the time you get to the level of astral traveling, that's where the answers start coming. That's where you start to see if your work is paying off correctly, or whatever it is you had on your plate before. Since you're more conscious in the astral world, in the dream state, you're able to decipher, observe, and bring more, for lack of a better words, intelligence into that world with you. So when you wake up, you have more. That's why you keep a dream journal, stuff like that, to write down, because now with the astral traveling, you're doing better. We're going to get into more of the techniques. I'm still telling you the concepts. So your spirit goes into the astral world every night. Now let's, as I brought up Gnosticism before, let's put this in a context. Christianity, or at least the old, well, first of all religions come from a spiritual system. All religions come from a spiritual system. When that spiritual system is dead, it becomes a religion. Kind of like when Tupac died, Biggie died, it's a religion. Elvis died, it's a religion. They still think they seen him alive, and well, Elvis is the best example. He was worth way more dead than alive. People worship him, dress like him. You got Elvis imitators, you know what I'm saying? And really, you got Tupac imitators. It just ain't popular to do it. Ja Rule was a Tupac imitator. 50 Cent, Tupac imitator. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure I'm missing a few. The idea is, once he's not there to say whatever, you start to mystify. Like even now, when I watch Tupac documentaries, everything he says is almost like Jesus-like to me. Wow, I didn't know he did that. And wow, he said that. And I've never even liked his fucking music. Point is, when something's dead and gone without mind, for instance, this. Bobby Hemmett has been making tapes for 20 years. He's done more than anybody would need to hear any fucking thing out his mouth again. And then even before he got sick, he didn't lecture for 2-3 years. He was done. He said, I'm stopping, I ain't got nothing else to say. I said, all I need to say, this is 2-3 years before he got sick. But after he got sick, you had a whole religious level. When is he going to lecture again? You panic. Do you think he will ever lecture again? I'm like, he's giving you information that you cannot even, I can show you 3 lectures, just 3 that you have still not figured out. And you just want to hear me, you just want to hear somebody talk. So it's a religifying type thing. We tend to do this naturally. But when he was there, nobody was really saying nothing, but thank you for another lecture, Bobby. Now, the point is, Out of Judaism was the Tanakh, Kabbalah, basically. That became later day Judaism. Sufism, which was the mystical system, later became Islam. So Christianity, what was Christianity as a system, or was it before Christianity? Well, it was. That's called Gnosticism. Gnosticism is the mystical form of Christianity. The Old Testament of the Bible is the Tanakh, Kabbalah. The New Testament, or the Gospels, came out of Gnosticism. What is Gnosticism? Well, how it really, the information on Gnosticism became really exposed 1945 or 46. Some young boys playing in their cave in Egypt, Nile Hammadi, Egypt, find some things, some jars, brings them home, and eventually sells them. And someone said, whoa, you know what these are old, whatever it is, Aramaic or Sanskrit writings, whatever the fuck it was at the time. Where'd you get these? Then they did a whole dig and found all of these books called the Dead Sea Scrolls or the Nag Hammadi Library. Of course, they took it, put it back together, did all they had to do, and actually held it from the public for some years. But you'll hear in all of these TV shows how some books of the Bible didn't make it in the Bible, and it didn't make the canon. And well, what they were talking about was the Gnostic books. Now people are demanding this. They didn't have any time to tamper with it. They released it. The Book of Thomas, Book of Mary. There's something called the Gnostic Bible. You can get that. Source information in its Bible style. Gnosticism was later day written down. At first it was just preached on the hill. All that shit you heard about Jesus, Gnostics were doing it. Remember when they told you Christians were being fed to the lions by the Romans? It wasn't them white people you see that they invented. It was Gnostics were being fed to the lions for their spirituality. Now, there's plenty of books on authors' interpretations of Gnosticism. There's plenty of books that brings out the main points of Gnosticism, so you don't have to read the whole entire thing like a Bible, and then they speak on those points, but they still make those points. One book by Jacques Le Carrière, something like that, called The Gnostics. That's the book to get. Kurt Rudolph, Gnosticism, or Gnosis, and the Nag Hammadi Library, Kurt Rudolph. Stephen Hollier, either the Gnosticism or some Gnostics, but that's the author. Those are three I definitely recommend. But if you had to only get one in your life, Jacques Le Carrière, because he goes to the direct quotes from the scriptures, which is source information. He has some of his interpretation, but he speaks on those scriptures. And here's what they found. First thing, I'll let you know this. There was a Gnostic Jesus. But in the Gnostic Jesus, they tell you how everyone is Jesus. Potentially. Your consciousness and everyone's goal is to become conscious and is to become that Jesus. Later, in Christianity, Jesus became a man, and we know the rest of that story. So there's plenty of the Book of Thomas, Book of Mary, Book of Seth, and on and on and on and on. Very interesting stuff. And what makes Gnosticism interesting, these later day Egyptians, these Coptic Egyptians, they run it down in Gnostic philosophy as such. They basically were saying, we don't have any time anymore to do what the Egyptians were doing. We don't have any time to bring you through initiations, through temples, through any of this stuff. So what we're going to do is tell you what the Egyptians pretty much were saying at the end of the day. So we're going to give you the microwave version of what the Egyptians were saying. Now that says a lot. It says a lot because their scrolls didn't get the opportunity to be tampered with. And I'm sure they tampered with as much as they could. But people, once this was revealed, and it was revealed to the world too quick, it wasn't revealed in a hidden way because some boy found it. That once the government took it, they had to give it back because people said, we want to know. Give us this now. So they didn't have the time to dispense it like they wanted to. The only thing they dispensed, which I feel is tampered with, is the first thing they released from it, which was the Book of Thomas, which you could get that separately. But I think they had time for that, and they was going to start dispensing it one at a time, but people said, give it to us all. So now you got old world information, but even better yet, you have a old world mentality. Because really, no matter how much you looked at the Egyptian stuff, you would have to determine the mentality that they had. The mentality for me, when I studied it, I'm like, well, how come they didn't leave no hieroglyphs on if they had all this information about what was going to happen to us in the future, that we would go to sleep, we would forget. So when they built the pyramids and they left all of these hieroglyphs, how come they didn't leave an economic plan, a how to save your kids plan, how to stop police brutality plan, how to be a vegetarian plan, yoga will save you forever plan? They didn't have none of these things. Everything they talked about was how to die and never come back. How to die, never come back. Let me get CJ back. So if they talked about how to die and never come back, the occultist understands, oh, this is all about this end game. This life we clearly are passing through. So we can't put all our eggs in this basket. We don't even need old world information to know that. Motherfucker, you're going to die. Why are you putting all your eggs in this basket? You should, I agree, do things to live better, but those are individual things. We're not going to make our whole race live better. Motherfuckers are too argue about every goddamn thing. So you can't have a mentality for an entire race. That's some shit you were taught to by Martin Luther King and them motherfuckers who were under government orders. We knew it was each one teach one and all the rest of those things, but you had to save yourself to even be able to save others. I can only save others as a fucking example. I can't save others and I'm just as broke as you. I have to be doing something or at least got something in my mind that I could stand on. If I can't stand on my finances, I can stand on something on my mind and my skill or in my heart that I can share with you. And really, the only thing I can do is put you on your road. I can't save you. No one can. That's government agent shit, or extremely ignorant shit. Now, the Gnostics basically said, in this microwave interpretation of what the Egyptians were saying, which turns out is what I came up with, not just me, Bobby, really, Bobby was the first, to say it on the lecture circuit, but it's been said in the cult circles. You know what I mean? That's what pretty much everyone is saying. That's even what Vic is saying without having more of the knowledge that I don't want to come here no more. Something, her spirit is telling her she's ready to leave this place. She's done with it. That's why you're in the class though, Vic, so you can get the techniques, the methodology, and make up your mind to get out of here. You escape through light. I told you that last week. Our vehicle for travel is light. So if you don't have no light, how you don't have no vehicle? I'm trying to enlighten you for your vehicle. Your light mind is what's going to get you out of here. Once you shed the body, which is your what do you call that shit that they put in your weight, but your paperweight, let's just say. Once you shed the body, and once you are able or understand your spirit, understand how to release your soul from your spirit as well. if you have that issue, most people do. How do you become and adapt at releasing your soul from your spirit once the body is gone? You become efficient in the astral world. So the very thing that you're asking me, when I teach you how to astral travel, become efficient in the astral world, if you once you die and you're able to be conscious in the astral world, then you're able to then relieve yourself and move on to true worlds that get you out of the astral world, which is an aspect of dimensions. But I told you dimensions was fucked up. So to understand this is that the Gnostics talked about basically, they said, well, y'all need to write this down. Y'all talking some profound shit. They said, we don't even want the world to be here, so we don't even want to write this shit down till later. So we don't even want the world to be here. But other people decided to write it down. They said in their mythology that the Great Mother was engaged in a sexual practice with something that wasn't certified by the divine spirit. And she had a baby. And this baby was an embarrassment, a bastard, an embarrassment, so on and so forth. This great mother, they call their great mother the Sophia, the piece de Sophia. In fact, where you get the word philosophy from. Now, she blew this, in the mythology, child in the abyss to hide it. The child seen above its head and seen what was going on above its head. And out of an act of insecurity, jealousy, evil, that he created these worlds that were to mimic the world above him. So he created the earth to rest his feet and the astral world to rest his head. So in the Gnosticism, they're telling you clearly in that statement, they're telling you clearly in that statement that the astral world is a part of this debauchery, a part of this illusion. Mind you, where you may not hear these things straight out because your information has been tampered with about the astral world. And most of what you hear about the astral world come from white New Age people who need to try to make an impact in the astral world. So they're talking about it like it's lovely or delicious. But here you have from our source information, people who are displaying our ancient information saying, we didn't feel that way, basically. The astral world was a part of this created illusion, the dream world. Now, we do know before anything could change on planet Earth, it must have an astral impact. You must impact it in the astral world. So this is where the astral world is important. This is where it comes into play. This is where it's a tool. So you lighten a candle, that flame is resonating on the astral world with your intention. Your intention needs to resonate on the astral world for it to happen on Earth. There's soul traveling and astral traveling. Your soul can travel way beyond the astral world in different realities. Why? Because your soul can touch anything because it is the God particle. The God particle, if you don't know what the God particle is, Google that. Google what they're trying to find with CERN, C-E-R-N, in Switzerland. And they'll tell you exactly, once they understand this so-called God particle, they'll understand how the universe itself was created. Is the seed light of the universe. Guess what? That's your soul. So soul traveling is a different thing. You will have that. See, when somebody wants to tell me their dreams, they'll tell me a dream they had when they were 12 years old. That was so fucking profound. That's soul traveling, because you dream every night. And you know what I'm saying? Well, I was in a dream, I was on the train eating a fucking corned beef and hash sandwich. You don't tell me that dream. You tell me the dream. There was a vision. There was a man and his face was covered, and I never forget that face. And then years later on Star Wars, I seen that face. You know, it'll see something like that, or at least on that kind of level. Soul travel. What the Gnostics talked about is this deity is a bastard who made a bastard creation, who is the vomit. The human body is the cesspool. He created humans and all animals to worship him because he's weak and insecure. His name is Yahweh or Yahweh or Jehovah. When the great mother Sophia seen this, to correct her situation, she sent down her divine sparks of light, which is the soul. And she decided to put her souls in that animal called man, who was a worm. He then stood upright and had intelligence. In the need, which is your need to go back home, is what the soul provides. It's not giving you the consciousness and where it's telling you it's time to go back home. Your spirit is telling you that. Because if that was the case, then how come the Christian who says, or Puff Daddy, or they're not talking the same shit as you? And they have souls, don't they? Your spirit is what's driving you to get back. Your soul is going to be the way back. It will magnetize and take you back to its source, the mothership. But it can only take that if you can charge your spirit, which is astral related, with the programming. So don't get me wrong, Vic. You have the programming, but it's your consciousness and your light that you get is going to be the vehicle. Your soul is like the GPS, programmed to go back to its source. All right. Now, so they explain that the great mother put these souls in a human being. He was upright. And then he was able to do like we do. That's when you hear, we realize we are naked and ashamed. What we realized, we were naked because we no longer had the protection of what we truly are. We were naked, not because we didn't have any clothes on. We was naked from our true power on earth. And that's when their problems begin, because just like any other conscious person, when you become conscious, it's when your problems begin. Because all I have to do in this motherfucker be happy is just go to college. And I'll be happy. But I'll be ignorance, and ignorance is bliss. I'll be in the Garden of Eden. When I become conscious, we're cast out the garden. Naked and ashamed. Naked from who you are. You should be ashamed of what you become as a human. Now, that's where you get this idea, I'm a jealous God, because what's in you is older. They also talk about he had help from the 12 archons. The 12 archons. The 12 archons are nothing more than our favorite friends, the zodiac. See, in Gnosticism, clearly, it tells you about the zodiac as not your friends. So you've probably heard me say before, no. See, people, don't get it wrong. People who deal in zodiac readings and zodiacal determinations, are they wrong? Absolutely not. They are 100% right, and their expertise will dictate how right they are for you. But think of it as a concept, as I told you earlier. The concept is these zodiacs are technically dictating your behavior or your proposed behavior. CJ, who's a Leo, shouldn't get with Sophia, who's a Taurus. Because zodiac means they're going to bump heads, and one is fire, one is whatever story, their moon was in conjunct with Pluto, whatever fucking thing. That may be real. But the secret science, which is actually in Christianity but came from Gnosticism, is the Christ energy. The 13 supersedes zodiacal influence. That's why half of them are animals and the other half represents a human or a higher form. Because within that zodiac, you're supposed to be reaching the higher form. I told you in Gnosticism, there's man and then there's the soul that made him upright. The soul represents that hidden higher aspiration that you're going to. And the animal self is the one that's led around, let's just say by a Taurus, bullheadedness, stubbornness, and all the rest of these negative traits a Taurus can certainly have. If I let that run my life, then I'm letting humanity run my life, and I'm letting another entity or the true gods that created this place, which are the zodiac, run my life. So the idea of Jesus having 12 disciples, the word disciple means to discipline. He's disciplining the zodiac animal forms. And C. Freeman L told us even the zodiac who's not animals used to be animals. They all used to be animals. He said Libra, that are two scales, used to be the scales over a donkey. So it used to be a donkey over Libra. Oh, let me get this CJ guy back. Used to be a donkey over Libra. So they all used to be animals. So the idea is, in Gnosticism, they tell you straight out, this deity, Yaldabaoth, Yahweh, Jehovah, all the rest of that shit that these niggas are praying to, called demiurge energy, the lesser god. You can find all the shit in Jocko LaCourse's book, right to the point. Hundreds and hundreds of statements. If I'd have brought that book and just read down what I have highlighted, y'all wouldn't believe this shit. The cesspool, humanity, you telling you shit like you could be a king on earth and a lowly dog in the afterlife, and being a king does not compare to a flea on a dog's ass in the afterlife of what you truly are. While you're fighting to live here and be a baller on earth and do your business here, fucking don't know who or what you are or what you truly are. Let's just say that. Study and you will find it. Really study. Now, they're going on for days about the incompetence, making up regular points. Well, if this is a God that created this place, and how come he was not competent enough to create a place where no evil exists? And you are dealing with evil on this planet. So either he's real cruel or real incompetent to create such a place where their rape exists, disease exists, suffering exists. So why are you putting people through this? You're either really incompetent or really evil. So they go through all these kind of things. And again, speak deeply on these 12 evil archons that once he didn't have the power to do it, they helped him out, creating time and shit like that. And that's what Zodiac is, nothing but the 12 time. Please believe. And that's the true science of the Christ energy, the number 13, to discipline those energies and free yourself up. Just think of it, 12 is a circle. 12 is a circle on a clock. The middle point is actually the hieroglyph for the sun. It's a circle with a middle point in the middle, called the black dot. The black dot is Christ energy. So now you become the hands of the clock instead of spinning around the clock. If I was on a wheel on a car, on the outside, I'm spinning around and around. I'm a Leo, I'm a Zodiac, I'm a Pisces, I'm a Taurus, I'm a Cancer. But when I become that middle point, the 13, that's why Jesus sits in the middle at that table, at that Last Supper. When you come to the middle point, you're not spinning around, shit is spinning around you. You're outside the circle of time as Christ. So that feeling of, I don't want to come back here, I don't want to do this shit no more. I've been trying to tell you, you can experience this freedom now when you release your humanity. You're not on planet Earth. Your body's on planet Earth. What do you mean you need techniques to blow this joint? You can leave right now when you release your humanity. That's what I'm teaching you right now. Ain't no technique how to do it. I'm teaching you a whole class on how to become it. What's left behind now that eats, sleeps, and shit is just the 10% of tithes I pay until my spirit and soul is ready to do its next thing. I need y'all to get this. Now, so like I said, book after book on telling you what a disgrace, a mess, what the worth of humanity is, and how low and irrelevant being a human is, a human thought, how basically, the only thing in the universe that is evil is actually human thought. They go in on humanity and this place. So they leave it to no mistake of what it is about this place, how they feel. And then when you think about all the other mythologies I've read and all the other ancient source information that I've dealt with, you kind of say, in a subtle way, they all are saying the same thing, because everything's about how to escape. Just the Gnostics gave it to you dirty style. You understand? Right to the point. Where everything else is, if you study it to its end, that is the point. Why are you doing this? Well, to eventually join alchemy. I was led, now I'm turning into gold, because gold represents something elsewhere, something up there, something greater. There's always something to get past what you are at this moment, which is pretty much what they were saying. Now, the point where you come in, they also point out in detail that the astral world is an illusion. Now, why is it important for us? Because there, as the alchemist, as the sage, as the metaphysician, as the occultist, as the shaman, or whoever the fuck it is you want to title yourself, what you're trying to do is really control this aspect of your humanity. Control it to see. I was just watching this nigga. Hold on. You need to reboot or something. All right. So whatever it is you're calling yourself or doing, I don't remember what the fuck I was talking about. Somebody remind me what I was just talking about. I forgot. Are you niggas sleeping? All right, somebody remind me what I was just talking about. It's spelled with a G N, Gnosticism. All right, well, anyway, I'll just move on. I can't remember what line I was on, but yeah. Okay. Okay, got you. Thank you. That does it. So the Gnostics is a big deal because again, it was information that came out by later day Egyptians that hardly got tampered with. And what it did, see, because it will, and it has, because not a lot of people are into it. But what it did was give you the mentality of how the people thought. So, because if you think about it, if we documented everything we were doing now, it would be documented. We would know we did rap. We would know we liked hip hop. but we kind of wouldn't know how niggas really socialized. What we said after the cameras was off. Nah, nigga, these niggas fucked up hip hop. Because even though you hear it said every once in a while, it's not truly documented how bad South niggas fucking drag down hip hop. The real answer is it was already on its way down. Puffy and them niggas dragged it down. It's just that they dragged it down low enough for them niggas to pick up on it and do that dumb shit. So, but you won't really get that vibe. With narcissism, you get the vibe of what niggas was talking about. They said they had orgies. Anybody got pregnant, they killed all the babies. While we trying to be all moralism and save the babies, they're telling you how we was in the ancient world. We didn't give a fuck about that because we didn't give a fuck about humanity. We knew better. We knew you ride this motherfucker, you just passing through, you ride this motherfucker till the wheels fall off. So anybody who knows anything, okay, I remember what I was going to say how I just got finished telling you how I understand, because you know that's the argument. Pat, you talking all this good shit, but you still on earth, you still got to eat, you still got to drink water, you still got to feed your kid, you know? Yeah, but I shifted my consciousness from my entire existence about how to eat down here and how to get rich. I shifted it to spirituality, and my spirituality now sustains me. I think of all the human ideas of how I can make a little bit more to this, to pay the rent and pay the bills like anybody else, but it works out. The answers are there because the way I order my life is the true order of how you manage your life down here. How we already figure out your life down here. You think and deal bigger, and the small shit works itself out. You don't think about the small shit. You don't build up and put all your energy in the small shit, a fucking economic plan. Nigga, you are the god of everything in existence, and you on earth trying to figure out how to fucking get stocks and bonds. Will stocks and bonds help you? Sure thing. If that's what you're into, again, you got to shift your consciousness to spirituality first. And think, and in fact, for a spiritual person dealing with stocks and bonds goes way further than a nigga putting his intellect in stocks and bonds. Because your intellect is so much, unless you really, really train it. We're not talking about a nigga who read a book and just said, I'm ready to do it. If a nigga went to school for it, that's a different thing. And even then, a spiritual person who has a knack and all of this, if they're doing the same thing that same trained intellectual person does, I guarantee you the spiritual person will win. But me as a spiritual person, I'm not interested in it. Because my spirituality has come to a point where I'm not only comfortable, confident, and comfortable enough to share techniques with others, and others support and buy products as a byproduct of that, not as the main reason I'm doing this. I'm not doing this to sell products. I'm doing this because I feel I'm here to do this. And if you need to say, well, Panic, I want to hear an agenda. Well, I'll tell you my agenda. What I found out in the occult science, the greatest thing you can do in all existence, known and unknown, is teach. There's no other payoff or currency like that. So if you want to know my agenda is nothing but to teach you, because I am wholeheartedly invested in my entirety of existence, not just my earthly existence, in my entirety of existence, the existence where I came from and I know I'm guaranteed to go back to, dictates those who teach are royalty. Those who teach are royalty. Do not confuse these niggas on YouTube who are just repeating shit that they know to impress you as teaching. I can stand behind day one since I opened my mouth. I did this, and this is how you do it too. No, you don't. Well, Penny, you don't answer my questions. Penny, you don't do it because I'm not your father or your preacher or your savior. I'm the nigga that says, do it your motherfucking self. Work for me, it'll work for you. It'll work for me, it'll work for you. So it's quite important for you to find your own way, your own realization, because where you go after this is yours. And it's not what you heard from me that I said that sounds so convincing that you felt good off of it. It's about you trying it and having a self-realization yourself. I am here teaching you with the tools that I use, tools that I know you cannot turn away from if you don't have an agenda. If you just say, hey, the white man wrote it, it won't work for you. If you say, I don't need books because I'm just no, then it won't work for you. I don't argue with you. I say, well, if you're finding light that way and it's working for you, then more power to you. I don't give a fuck what you do. If you're finding light, enjoy it. But don't think I don't know the ego when I see it as well. Well, you're not gaining light. You're just talking information. I told you, information turns into wisdom. Wisdom turns into understanding. And all understanding is manifestation. None of these niggas is manifesting nothing spiritual. Maybe some human shit, but you got a car, nice house. Okay. Go to college. Bill Cosby had that shit too. So that don't seem like a real important feat to me. Light is what this shit is about. My agenda is to teach niggas, rain or shine. Not to be your friend, not to be nice to you, because you got enough of that. But to give it to you straight in hopes that the message resonates with you. I don't give a fuck if my personality resonates with you or not. Let me say that again. I don't give a fuck if my personality resonates with you or not. The only person that scares me if my personality ain't resonating with me is in the kitchen right now. It looks like she's making some tea. And her name is Khadijah. Other than that, so what? And you shouldn't care. You just should be here to collect what you need to get to go on your adventure. Now, looks like we're dropping some calls. Let's see if people come back. I gotta add people. Ooh. All right. So, yeah, just waiting. Look like we dropped some calls. Kimberly Ferguson, we dropped her. We lost one more person. All right. So, we're going to start wrapping this up. Let me see where we at. Start wrapping this up soon. About the astral world. God damn. All these motherfuckers just dropped. Get this nigga. This nigga. All right, y'all mute your computers back up again. Yeah, mute again. Yeah, mute the shit up. Just mute. All right, there we go, Matthew. All right. So the astral world is the dream world. Earth is the physical world that we know it. Astral traveling, quite simply, is bringing your consciousness into the dream world. That will eventually inspire something called lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming is basically how aware you are in the dream world. When I got into lucid dreaming, which was what I was trying to do is astral traveling, and before I knew what lucid dreaming was, it was happening to me. That's how I know it works that way, because I was going for it. I wasn't going for it. Hold on, Stephanie's in here? I wasn't going for it, but it just started happening, right? So that and things were happening, like I'll be in a dream, I'll see something, and I would start reaching for my camera to take a picture of it. Or I was in the dream world seeing stuff and I was using the reasoning that of things that I read in books, let's just say, in the dream. So basically the world started merging together. It wasn't a separation anymore. So, and this came from astral traveling. One of the books I first read, which I recommend, probably the only book you need, because this book is like psychomancy, the same psychomancy that I sell, uh, where he teaches you technique after technique on astral traveling, things to do, what to expect. And the way he writes is like a third grader. So he's not trying to sound deep. He's teaching, because I told you, you take complex information, explain it to you like you're a 3-year-old. And that's what you really want. This book is called Astral Dynamics by Robert Bruce. A New Approach to the Outer Body Experience. Robert Bruce. Excellent book. I would say it's the must have. It's the must have in you know astral traveling books. Yeah, protection double, incredible mind split. Right, the incredible mind split. I remember that being actually good, and that's what I was talking about. And I was, God, these niggas, boy, y'all getting dropped and put back. Astral sight, walking paralysis, um, out of body experience and perception, imagination versus visualization, mobile body awareness, tackle image supporting energy structures, energy body stimulation, raising energy, and he goes on and on and on. You know what I'm saying? Got shit up in here. Excellent book. So that's the one book I would say definitely get, because it teaches you techniques. Now, for a book that gives you concepts is a book called Astral Travel, Your Guides to the Secret of the Outer Body Experiences by Gavin and Yvonne Frost. Astral Travel, Your Guides to the Secrets. Hold on. Let's see what we losing. All these little dropped ass niggas. All right. See who's coming back. All right. Del Warren, Stephanie, Nakia Parks. Oh, it's Stephanie. Khadijah said hello. Robert Bruce. You know, these niggas is just dropping. Come on now. That's Astral Travel by Robert Bruce. The second book is Astral Dynamics by Robert Bruce. The second book is Astral Travel, Your Guide to the Secrets of the Outer Body Experiences, and that's by Gavin and Yvonne Frost. See, I like this book. It really picks up on the second half, but they give you a few techniques, but they give you more. She said, "Hey, Khadijah." They give you more on what to expect when you astral travel. But they'll tell you, like, drink 8 ounces of water with a teaspoon of honey and a teaspoon of vinegar before you go to sleep, and that will help you travel. They do that, but they tell you the things to expect. And sure enough, when I started traveling, those are the things to expect. Another good book, Practical Guide to Astral Projection, The Outer Body Experience by Denning and Phillips. Pretty good. Now, once you read that and start playing around, here's the mentality you want to have. Now, the idea, if I didn't say it, is everything that happens on Earth in your reality must start in the astral world. So your thoughts, because as a man thinketh, so you become. That's another way of saying, as you impact the astral world, so the physical world follows suit. So, to be active in the astral world, the most active you are is when the subconscious mind is talking. You're also active when you're doing candle magic, chakra work, crystal work, fairy work, altars, self-deification, all the stuff that we talked about and we'll talk about by the end of the day. You're also active or activating or impacting the astral when you do that. When you astral travel at night, when your dreams are talking back to you, it's actually telling you what you have impacted, what's going on. It's speaking back to you. So again, when I was seeing in the astral world stuff that I read in books that I was questioning, that means my subconscious mind is actually being impacted. My reality is starting to change because it's happening in the astral world first. Oh my God, niggas, reboot. Yeah. All right, me too. Yeah, motherfuckers. Y'all niggas need to pay your bills. Uh, so, so the whole entire point is to impact that astral. So you have to be a little bit more familiar with it, a little bit more adept in it, a little bit more dominant in it. And that comes from astral traveling. Astral traveling, then lucid dreaming. So somebody has to mute up. Mute your computers. Matthew Flash. Am I missing anybody? Hold on. So, oh God, hold on. Let's see. Sophia here, yes. Who else we missing? Kia Parks is here. She's back. Stephanie present. Who the fuck is Matthew Flash Norway? Oh no, okay, that's you. That's my UK fam. Oh, Vic. That's who we're missing. Let me get her. All right. So those books are keep you and you got to practice. Now, more practically, more day to day. What could you do? How did you do it? What did I do? Well, I try to explain to guys. We do this all the time anyway. Every girl we see, we can have detailed visualizations on fucking them. No lie. Girls who are in my class, yes, you too. Where's that Pharaoh guy? Hold on, where the fuck is he at? That's who's missing. Maybe he got tired of getting in trouble. No, he's still offline. Vic, Stephanie, Sophia, Pharaoh is offline, right? Rashawn said he wouldn't be here. Mike, me, Matthew, Kimberly, Camille Williams, Cadmiel. Oh, he good. Yeah, well, motherfuckers just MIA today, not even calling or nothing. Who else? Man, well, Spivey's here. Dell's back. All right. Daniel Brown, he's here. Adam Jordan. Yeah. Adam Jordan. Stephanie's here. All right. Whew. So, more practically, and I tell guys this all the time. We do it all the time. We can admit it or not admit it. Every girl you see her lips stick out, you thinking how she sucks dick. You're thinking out. When we masturbate, we have all these visualizations of chicks. You gotta Cadme, you gotta mute your computer. It'll be good. Just mute. Um, these hard visualizations are the same techniques you would do. You can make it more complex. First, you can start still with sexual, make it more, and then eventually get more complex with how detailed. So when we go home and you're about to, what white people call it, flog the log, or what do they call that shit? About to slap some skins, about to rub one out, and you seen this girl, or you thinking about this particular girl, or often think about that girl, you could think about so much detail, almost where which you would never see her sexually, but still feel that what's happening is real in your mind. And for all intents and purposes, it is real. I wanted to try to explain something to you complex, and I'm going to break it down. But I want you to understand. If you don't understand, let me know. But I think you should, because I think I can break this down easy. We're going to take a girl, because I don't want to embarrass anybody here. A girl named Jane, right? Jane, you know from work. So between you and her personality is professional. You know her from work. But at the same time, we know Jane has kids, boyfriends, and dates. And she's a daughter. So her personality with you, though, is professional. Somewhere in her exists a sexual side. We know that because she had sex to have kids. She's dating niggas. You don't know what, but you never met that. You know, you're professional. She's somebody's daughter. So somewhere was insecure as a child would be to their parents, dominance or prowess, let's just say. Somewhere she yelled at somebody's road rage. So she's angry. In other words, all of these personalities and at least 25 more that I did not name exist in this one girl, Jane, even though you never seen it or never will. But now we know from our third grade science class that energy never dies. These personalities, these emotions are nothing more than energies. And if they never died, that means they must exist somewhere while she's not using them. Okay? So that means when she's with you, she's using her professional co-worker business personality. But that don't even go there, girl, attitude, or whatever you want to say, we're going to assume that she has it. She's not showing you that. But because it's an emotion, because it's an energy, and we know from third grade what energy never dies, it must exist somewhere while she's not using it. All your different personalities do exist in the astral world while you're not using it. You pull them out or call on them based upon your personality. So she's professional with you. Then her girl Kimberly calls. Hey, bitch, what's good? What's up? What's popping for the night? Then you call. Well, good evening, and we'll have the paperwork on your desk at 12 a.m. If there's anything you need from me, just be sure to send me an email. Send this in the subject matter. I'll be happy to get that to you, Bob. Then Kimberly, oh, bitch, this nigga last night beat the shit up out of his pussy. I gave him a doggy style, and the nigga done, you know what I'm saying, cracked my back. Okay, Bob, I'm glad you got the paperwork. Is it to your satisfaction? Two different motherfuckers. Now, as me, the spiritualist, what I know, or knowing that information, advanced information that I just told you, the question becomes, can I get Kimberly's personalities in the astral world that are hidden? Kimberly said in the class, she said, have you been listening to my phone conversation? Yes, Kimberly, I'm Bob. You may know me as Brother Panic, know what I'm saying, that real nigga, but Kimberly, I am also Bob, and we have been having a thorough correspondence on the attributes of this particular proposition A, which I'm still waiting for you to reply on with the attachments from the Del Warren deal. We are all patiently and eagerly waiting, but we understand here that it's a process. Hold on for 1 second. Someone named Brother Panic wants to talk to you. Yo, Kimberly, I'm telling you, all you gotta do is just crack your legs open and you'll be in the astral world. Know what I'm saying? When we haven't got work. That's perfect. And I'm glad Kimberly admitted or Kimberly admitted to that. The idea is you're displaying different aspects of your energies. So when one is apparent, the other one didn't die because you pull it out. You pull it out at lunchtime, right? So knowing this science, as Brother Panic knows Kimberly has 25 different attitudes. The question becomes, can Brother Panic access any of that? Oh, yes, he can. Oh, yes, he can. Through astral techniques. Now, before this thing gets nasty, fellas, we do it all the time. I'm not going to use your name, Kimberly, because I don't want to put you on the spot. So we're going to use Jane again. Del Warren may work with Jane, who showed him nothing professionalism. But Del Warren is sitting there going, look at that ass on Jane. Now, I don't know, because where we about to go now, it won't be fine. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get into anal shit. Nah, I'm only joking. I'm not going to use you. We're going to use Jane, though. We're going to use Jane. We're not. So Del may be working with you, Kimberly, and respects you as a co-worker, never said anything but, where are those commission papers? But he's still in his mind going, look at her big old fat sloppy ass. Now he may go home and have all sorts of jerk off sessions visualizing your ass in every goddamn position he could possibly think. What the lips do and all of that rest of that shit. What is he accessing? The astral traveler is accessing that aspect of your personality. Because remember, guys, she said that's pretty cool, bros, man. We visualize each girl sexually. And we think of whole scenarios when we do this, because that's something that's easy for us, guys. We don't visualize them teaching us anything, which if you did that, then you would access the goddess aspect in them before we just keep this if we want to take it out of our pants. Because now I will use Kimberly. If I see Kimberly as somebody smart, just smart, I can visualize her in goddess dress teaching me. Do meditations. Let's say for whatever reason I pick Kimberly. Even though she may be, and not our Kimberly, but she may be dumb as a stick in the mud. But if I visualize her doing, see, I visualize Khadijah doing all that shit that we like to say black women do. And Khadijah does a lot of that for me. But what she can't do, or it's impossible to do under the principles of earth, I can visualize, because that aspect of energy does exist with her, whether she realizes it or not. So through my techniques in astral travel, and I never taught this in class, because this is really advanced technique, but you lucky niggas today are getting a real treat. My vision, see, what she can't do, I can visualize her doing that. You create a whole movie in your head, a reoccurring movie that you go to that stars my wife, Khadijah. And that's how that shit becomes my reality. Oh, y'all guys are welcome. That's how that becomes my reality. So on a lesser level, when you practice, guys, that's how we want to do it for sex. So if I see this girl, Jane, I'm going to visualize it. I'm actually accessing her. Because her energy is sexual, who she shared with her baby's father. You're actually accessing that. Yeah, that iPod shit. I remember telling you to do something on the iPod. He said, I just saw the other side of a coworker this year at a New Year's party. Damn, Patty. Right. There you go. Somebody said it was a New Year's party. They seen the other side of their coworker. Because you know it exists. You don't even have to see it. You know it exists. We all go home and be at home. The same coworker ain't doing the same shit. Here's the funny shit though. Bobby told me, because we discussed it before. You know, Sarnetta has flown him in for lectures. So he stayed at Sarnetta's house. Me and Bobby went to to lunch one time when he came to New York. He said, let me tell you, Panic, Sarnetta is never off duty. He said, he's the same nigga in the street with the bullhorn in his very own home. I thought it was we thought it was the funniest shit. But that nigga is the same nigga everywhere. So he may be the exception to the rule. But all of that to say, we know it, even if we don't see the other side of someone at the Christmas party. But when niggas get drunk, we see a whole nother side. We know it exists. We know it exists, right? So we know it exists. What I'm saying is, we may have never seen the sexual side of Kimberly, but if we see something we like physically, we usually start to speculate as guys. Yo, you seen her this? You know them shits is hell. You ever see that? You ever see her in shorts? Oh my God. You ever see her with them spandex on, nigga? We do it all the time. That same energy is the same energy that's going to keep you occupied and what you take in the bed as you go to sleep. That's how you astral travel. Of course, the easiest thing I'm using is the sexual example. And I showed you something complex. When I astral travel, I see Khadijah dressed in whatever goddess thing I'm dealing with at the time for whatever reason. And she's coming and she's touching me wherever I need to be touched to be healed, to be enlightened. I see her with balls of light coming and feed me light. Whatever. The sky is the fucking limit. But she's the facilitator of it. And as a result of that, as I told you, the way I treat and see her as a human without even knowing it is pristine and 100%. So I told you, I don't have to work on my relationship with my woman. I work on my spirit with her and the relationship works out. How could you go against someone who brings you light in your mind constantly? I know you ain't bringing no more niggas in here, Tony. I know you ain't bringing no more niggas in here. Check and see if there's any mail, please, buddy. Thanks, man. So, how I feel and treat her so naturally because I'm programming myself to see her as my very source of light, as God, as me communing deeply with the other side of myself, which is God, has her face. So when she walks around here and gets me sick, I remember I'm still dealing with God. So my voice never has to be raised to her. I can't. She's God. That's Khadijah shit? Package? Oh, no. I opened this. I took the thing out. That's Khadijah's? Give it to her. She's been waiting for that. Yeah, get it. This is her shit too. And this is your fucking shit. I'll take your mail. Ain't money in it, nigga? You get your shit together. Where you get these fucking gangbanger drawers from, nigga? Pull your pants up, nigga. I'm gonna beat your ass. You on punishment, nigga. I'm gonna beat your ass after this class. Goddamn Chirac drawers. Goddamn ass look like a Spike Lee joint. Facebook. Find out if the guy's telling the truth or lying. Find out who he really is. All that stuff exists. The deeper you go into your astral technique, and the more lucid you become, that's the entire point. You will find out any and everything you need to know. I don't need to rely on any man for information or any book anymore for information. I can talk directly to the energies. Now, there are energies, souls that have left the astral world. Let's just take one that I know is gone, Jimi Hendrix. He still can funnel. Okay, let me give y'all this, because y'all about to get it now. I want you to see how you're going to tie all this together. Your spirit never leaves the astral world. Your soul does. So Jimi Hendrix's spirit is still alive because we keep it alive through altars, his music, his pictures. All of that keeps his spirit alive, even though his soul has left the astral world. Let's say his whole soul is home on Sirius, Orion, Nibiru, wherever the fuck you think your home is, we call our homes. He's there. So if he's there, how can we talk to his spirit? Well, we know we can't talk to his body. That's in the ground. His spirit still, even though his soul is gone, his spirit still can exist as long as we remember it, as long as we do it. So he can still, through his soul, talk to us in the astral world through his spirit. So I can still find out what's popping with Jimi Hendrix right now, where his soul is, because he can funnel it down to his spirit. Now it's harder. I want you to understand this. The pristine message of the soul, let's just say, it has to be funneled down through a lot of layers until it gets to you. It's very complex. I'm giving you a very complex shit now. Enjoy this shit. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. Through layers, by the time that pristine message gets to you and to your human mind, it's convoluted. Funneling through the soul, through the spirit, to the brain, to the mind, soul, spirit, to the mind, and through the ego. Through the ego. That's always the last step, through the ego. So by the time it gets through the ego, from this pristine place of true beauty, true light, it's already convoluted. So everything we're getting down here, depending on your level of ego understanding, is going to be fucked up. That's why you hear all these people, I got all these spiritual messages. Yes, it is, but it's convoluted because you haven't done when we're going to get to chakra work. The chakras, that ties into it as well. This shit can get complex. So I know how to explain this complex, but why I explain the way I explain? Because I'm trying to break this shit down for us to understand. But my understanding of it is way more complex than a lot of times I can explain. There's a lot of shit I just don't know how to explain. I'm just getting to how to explain this to you now. See, the chakra system are your emotional base, and your chakras are also programmed. So, for instance, which we're going to talk about, if the solar chakra, which if you were picked on, becomes either defensive, you become belligerent, aggressive, or timid, shy, a nerd, pushed around. So let's say you get into some spiritual shit and haven't dealt or balanced that chakra. Every spirit that comes to you is trying to attack you. Every spirit is going to come into you, is trying to harm you or do harm. You have to always protect yourself because you were picked on in high school and you didn't release that in the heart chakra. Heart chakra is the place of the child where you release. And we're going to talk about that today. So the idea is, if the chakras aren't in balance, chakras are a ladder. So they're supposed to be free and clear of human emotions. The three lower chakras house all your humanity. So when you got this bold statement, you must get the fourth chakra, the heart chakra, is the Christ chakra. That's where the consciousness comes in. That's where you gain compassion in the heart, but it's compassion for humanity. Forgiveness that Jesus is forgiveness for humanity and your humanity. I forgive myself for never having the girl. I forgive myself because my dick isn't big as I think it should be. I forgive myself because I got crooked titties and an inverted nipple. I forgive myself because my nose is crooked. I forgive my mother because she did this to me. I forgive my mother because she didn't do that for me. I forgive my father because he never was there. I forgive my father because he was there and he beat my ass every day. Why? Why do I forgive them? Because I understand humanity. And I understand humanity is a flawed nature. And all they was, and all I am at that particular point was a human. But now in the heart chakra, I am conscious. I am the Christ energy. And now I'm about my Father's business. So I forgive you. Then the devil comes. Lord of the lower three chakras. I can give you all the riches of the world. No, thank you. I'm about my Father's business. What's your Father's business? The next upper three chakras. Throat chakra, pineal, crown chakra, where you will go sit on the throne beside your father, which is really your mama. You know what I'm saying? Let me call Kimberly back. There we go. So all of these are code words trying to tell you about the chakra system. That's why Christ sits there with a heart illuminated, pointing up, because he's telling you there's more to go. But the change or the gateway starts in the heart. That's where you release yourself from your humanity. So you always hear that statement, you can't think human, don't think like a human, don't think like a human. Well, the science on that is what makes you think like a human is your emotional grip, which dictates your moralism, which dictates your thinking. And those emotions are based upon trying to stay not hurt or stay safe, fight or flight, just survival shit. Teach the kids it's our future. No, that's another way of saying, that's how we're going to survive. Putting our false hope in our kids. Need to teach the grown-ups, because the kids, because y'all niggas don't know nothing. But the spiritualist makes a different level of change in the heart chakra. There's two change. The heart chakra, if you're going to remain a humanist, the compassion becomes compassion for humanity. So then that's where you start caring about oil spills, pollution, foraging, cutting down trees in the Amazon, black on black crime, and what they did to the poor babies. That's when you're creating human compassion in the heart. The spiritual or true Christ compassion is you have compassion for yourself, or you start to have compassion for all the things you think you are and all the failings you think you have. Because we can line y'all against the wall, and though many won't admit it, you're able, let me get a couple of people we lost. You're able to tell all the goddamn things you feel are failing about yourself. Once you see Kuan Yin, the goddess of compassion, she has compassion not for humanity, but she has compassion for the soul, which is trapped in humanity. She has compassion for the soul, which is trapped in humanity. While people confuse that she has compassion for human behavior. No, that's a level of consciousness, a level of humanity, and it's very nice, but that does not get you out of this rut that you're in. It doesn't get you transformed out of here. Or quite simply, you ain't going to go to heaven by helping old ladies up the stairs and across the street. Giving your seat to an old lady on the Q10 bus going uptown is not going to get you into heaven. And illumination or light is what gets you there. The concept of compassion and love in the heart chakra is compassion for the soul and the releasing of humanity. So Jesus forgives. You forgive yourself for being human, for never quite getting it right. You're not here to try to make it right. See, what you got is a lot of conscious people trying to make humanity right, trying to fix a flaw, which I just got finished telling you Gnosticism is built in the structure of this reality. A flaw that is not to be fixed. The ancients weren't trying to fix a flaw. They were trying to they were trying to fix it by going beyond it, if you understand what I'm saying. So the idea was to take this flaw and duplicate heaven in this material flaw. So the cities we built, the pyramids we built, the structures we built were all bringing heaven to this realm. Guess what? We did it. We did it already. More than just accept the flaw, I would say understand that it's a flaw. So it wasn't about accepting the flaw, accepting the understanding that it is flawed. The act of creation is flawed by nature. So when I hear conscious people trying to make this creation perfection, you hustling backwards in my study. Now, I do get if you're trying to make it better for a few folks while they live in this flaw, knock yourself out. But I don't hear anything to the contrary. I don't hear them saying the big picture and not my big picture, or just giving me some of the big picture that's a little bit less earth-ocentric, whatever they may see it to be, or their definition of it, or what they're telling people to strive for. But everything is earth-ocentric. And somehow, first of all, if black people ran this planet, and we did, for millions of years before there was a white face or a freckle around. We did it already. Our agenda wouldn't seem to do that again, to me. I think we did the damn thing already. We already was at the club. We already done drank that drink already. We already hit that already. She already done sucked us off. He already done ate you out. You on to the next thing. You just that same boyfriend still trying to get the pussy. Yeah, we ran the planet. We was the gods, and we had all the universities, and we knew how to grow organic agriculture for the peoples, and we had the indigenous religious African spiritual systems before there was a white face around. I like Jello. He did all of that bullshit, but you won't let it go. You know what I'm saying, right? You know, I put some goddamn pills up in the Jello, and now this motherfucker is putting me up in the court system. The idea is, if we did it already, what's our next thing? Not let's get back to our old thing. It is definitely an act of your ego. Because all I hear is you trying to prove to white people who and what you are. Shit, and you trying to prove to black people who and what they are. I don't understand the ultimate, what's the end game? What's the logic? We ran this planet before, like I just said, but the mere fact that this planet can turn into what it is now says that's a flaw. So if we run it again, just because we do know all of this shit, and this is shit you I'm using the shit you co-sign with, that we are in cycles, secular. So the more we stay down here, because this planet does run in cycles, we will run it again. But then we'll lose it again. Why? Because it does run in cycles. Your problem is you're in the circle of time. Your problem isn't economic. Your problem is Earth itself. Again, get into some of that Gnosticism if you want to see ancient thought, the mentality we had. And it does line up with all the shit that you say now. Why are the Egyptians talking about this afterlife? Everything was about death. They seemed that they were obsessed with death. Because maybe there's something to that. I didn't hear them obsessed with economics. The best way to sell a motherfucking goat. So, when you astral travel, you're able to pick up, that's where all the invisible energies reside when you're not pulling it on Earth. So basically, you could get down to the real motherfucking person. The real motherfucking person. Okay, understand this. I want you to understand now that you hear that. The Dogon people, we're going to use them for example, but all African people, the shamans or the priests knew that the astral world so advanced and pretty much dealt with it how I was just explaining it. I'm sure there could be more to it or less to it or whatever the fuck. But understand it in this context of how I explained it as this world where we have access to, that is going to be the place where we start to change our physical reality. Now, the Dogon people, for example, when you have a culture, we're going to use them, for years and years, hundreds and maybe in some cases thousands, but let's just say hundreds of years, where you ate the same, slept the same, dressed the same, danced the same, sang the same, told the same stories, fucked the same, married the same, gave birth the same, and importantly, died and buried the same. For years and years and years, what you are actually creating is a kinship and a frequency. Kind of like how we feel about gangbangers. If I was a Crip from New York and Dell was a Crip from, I don't know, Compton, personally, I may meet Dell, may not really like him or whatever, but you know we would sit in the same room and bond on a certain level just cause we feel we got the same traditions as gangbangers. He would be able to tell me a little bit different about California. I'm a little bit about New York, but we both got on, what I say, Crips. So we both got on Blue. We both know Tukey Williams started it. We both know how to Crip walk. We both know certain traditions, certain stories that have lasted. This bond or kinship creates an energy field. Where does that energy field impact? In the astral world. So that means when Dell dies and I die, because we programmed ourselves with this thought, what's our heaven? Now, first, let me get this out the way. True heaven is where your soul goes. The illusionary heaven is the astral world. Let me say this as well while I'm here, before I get to that. Some people die because they don't know about the soul. They don't have this information, or it's too deep in them. They lost. They have to keep coming back lifetimes until they finally get to where you guys are. They die and go to the astral world. The astral world, like your dreams, could be any world. Again, I cannot stress this enough. If you want to understand about the astral world, watch a movie called Or What Happens When You Die, and how he goes to the astral world, What Dreams May Come. It's on Netflix. Cuba Gooding Jr., Robin Williams. The movie is about he dies, goes to the astral world, and they explain to him all about the dynamics of death, the astral world, the concept of heaven, and the concept of hell in the astral world. They even show a scene where he was all niggas and he was about to go on this boat. And that was the soul. The soul is represented in mythology in these things as the cosmic boat or the mothership. So all that ship meeting New Bureau and the mothership coming down to get us, where white men and now niggas have made physical, was actually talking about your soul. Your soul can travel through wormholes and intergalactic galaxies. It doesn't even, it says like the speed of light and the speed of this, doesn't even need speed. And you know that because your soul is quantum, or at least what we can call quantum. And if anybody understands the basics of quantum physics, there's no space and time. It's all connected. So for instance, they had one cantaloupe, hooked it up to an EKG machine, and a second cantaloupe. They cut the first cantaloupe in the EKG, which is a brainwave machine, which is basically able to test subtle different frequencies of energy coming off the object. They should, at the cantaloupe was conscious that it was being cut, and the waves change on the EKG machine. But what became peculiar was the cantaloupe next to it that was uncut had the same reaction. And there's also something called, like, I think it's 12 monkey mind. They had monkeys separated. They gave one group of monkeys tools and blah, 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 and information. And then the second group of monkeys who had no context started doing the same thing with the tools and the behavior. So they're saying, well, what is this? And they're trying to tell you in the quantum world, it's all connected. Now, we're truly quantum beings. We're all connected. That's called the Akashic field. That's called what I told you before. If Dell was in Mexico and built the pyramid, and I was in Cambodia and built the pyramid, instead of our illusionary atomic separation mentality, we knew how to connect to our quantum reality. So he had that information the same time I did, because there was no space and no time. Quantum. So this quantum field that we created still exists in the astral world under that rule book of illusion. So group interpretations of heaven, let's just say, is because those humans were on that same frequency and subconsciously went to that world and they think it's heaven. They, in that book, Astral Travel, Your Guides to the Secrets of Out of Body Experience by Gavin and Yvonne Frost. They talk a lot about that. How you can go in the astral world and you'll see motherfuckers because you build with your mind. This is the dream world. Same way you have dreams and you're in these worlds and these places, all of those worlds exist in the astral world as a part of the illusion. So she said, you see a lot of churches up there and a lot of motherfuckers hanging out in churches. Their body is dead. Your soul could be in the body, the spirit, or out of here. So sometimes the soul will get trapped in the astral world in your spirit. Some people's soul are on planet Earth. My soul isn't on Earth. My soul is projecting me down here because I know not to incarnate down here based upon me going through this already. That's just me. I'm an avatar. So when I die, I'm not going through the astral world and back up through these layers. Some of us are actually called trapped down here in the cycles of reincarnation. Now, with that being said, your soul is either in the body. When your body dies, the soul and the spirit goes in the astral world. Now, the soul, just because you're in the astral world, learning doesn't stop. You may still learn. I used to be able to say this, but now I've taught so many humans. But there was a time I was going to say, I taught more people in the astral world than I've taught on Earth. I don't know if I can say that anymore. But there was a time motherfuckers was student in the astral. I was teaching motherfuckers, dropping niggas. Niggas was calling on my spirit to their worlds. Yeah, I could tell you stories and stories about how this shit. The astral traveling separates the men from the. That's when your spiritual journey really would have started. Everything else I taught you guys thus far is setting out the groundwork for that. Starting to interface with your mind, adding light to your mind through self-deification, adding intention to candle magic, powering up the subconscious mind with the batteries called crystals and different energies. So whatever ails you, those crystals or gemstones, as you're dealing with the fairy world, opening up a gateway to the negative ions of nature for healing, wisdom, and creative force. Astral traveling is when the spirit is talking back to you because that your subconscious mind is in full blown. It's in rare form, like Prince in Purple Rain. It's in rare form tonight. And your ability to stifle your conscious chatter mind and become an audience member to the astral information that you're getting. So these worlds, they tell you in this book that there's motherfuckers hanging out by churches and all sorts of shit, just stuck because they don't know what to do. Now, they say also if you stay in this astral world pretty much docile, your spirit and your soul, if your soul is there, you're going to incarnate back on Earth. If your soul has either moved on or if your soul has already incarnated back on Earth, remember, your spirit could still be there. And people remember your incarnation is Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby's soul may have moved on or his soul may have come back to Earth. But the spirit of Bill Cosby still resides in the astral world as long as we juice it up with our memories, good or bad. The day you don't remember the individual is the day the soul, that etheric soul, dies. So the soul not soul, spirit. Spirit dies. The spirit lasts forever. Everything has a spirit. A roach has a spirit. The soul is what's forever. The soul will be either on Earth, astral world, or moved on, never to come back. And which is the ultimate idea. But even if the soul has moved on, or the soul has reincarnated again, the spirit can still exist. Like, for instance, Abraham Lincoln. We remember him because he's got movies, shit. We got vampire hunter movies, $5 bills. He was a president. He's talked about almost every day. He's on money. You know what I mean? In other words, we ain't going to forget this white man. We ain't going to forget this white man. So his spirit still exists, meaning you can call on his spirit for help and guidance. But John Wilkins, a slave in 1942 that no one remembers, his spirit does not exist in the spirit world. It has no reason to exist because no one is calling on it. So that's why you put up pictures, put up libations, do all of this shit for your altar, because the whole idea is that that's how you remember your aunts, remember your ancestors, because you keep their spirit alive. So even if they moved on, so in other words, you don't trap them anywhere. You can hold on to their spirit, which is just an incarnation. We have plenty of incarnation, plenty of spirits, some forgotten, some impact. My spirit after I'm gone is going to be remembered. Look how much shit I left behind that people are seeking, just in lectures. So somebody's going to remember the spirit of panic. But it doesn't matter. That's not going to trap me or make me do anything. Or when you call on me, you're not calling on me. You're calling on my spirit, which exists in the astral world. That's what it's there to do. So way after I'm gone, I'll be on Sirius getting my dick sucked by cosmic slop or whatever the fuck you want to, whatever your heaven is, and y'all be calling on panic down here for some goddamn relief. That's all good because you're not calling on my inner, you're not calling on my soul. This doesn't tax me or distract me. Somebody just put up the other day, y'all need to stop calling on Michael Jackson. He told me he's tired of y'all calling him. I'm like, you fucking, that's bullshit. That's some shit from your ego. Michael Jackson, just off his talent, you understand his soul or his incarnation of the power he was dealing with. His spirit, to be Michael Jackson means you know your spirit is going to be called on forever. As long as this place exists, your spirit will be called on. But you're not tiring nothing out. His soul has moved on. Or if you so choose, come back to earth. Now, so when Vic said, you know, I want to leave, how do I leave? The fact that you're conscious and you're able to retain your consciousness when you die, guess what? Congratulations. That's the technique. The people who are getting stuck here in reincarnation are the people who are way, way behind in spirituality and knowledge of self. But guess what? They're actually supposed to do it. Either one or two things happen because they're here to go through many lifetimes to learn, to get to the point where you're sitting in class and even saying, I'm ready to go. The mere fact that you're saying that, guess what? You graduated. When there's hundreds of thousands not saying that, saying, how do we live longer? That's why they're here, based upon that. So you don't have this problem if you're conscious and you're hearing this message. Now, the others are the ones who've just been here so long and forgot. Don't know how to wake themselves up no more. And that's why these teachers are here. And that's why these teachers like myself are here, for those who see, I'm one who knows how to come into humanity and retain this information. Evidently, that's what would be my qualifications for the spirit world for coming down here. Because the idea is once you come down here and get that brain, forget it. So I'm one of the ones, Bobby, I know, is one of the ones that's able to come and retain this, to be able to help folks get in their common sense. People who are there that just need the straight methodology. Those people are you. Ready to go. Like Vic said, I'm ready to go. But now, that's why I told you. That's why I went off like I did. Not really went off, but that's why I reacted the way I did, because I'm like, no, this is why you're here, and this is what I'm telling you. Ain't no microwave answer for this. This is the work. Everything I'm telling you is how to get out of here. You must gain this light. Your vehicle for leaving is light. They told you that in the movie K-Pax. How did you get to Earth? You said, we travel through light. Yeah, well, that's true. C. Freeman L. told me that in a channel. No, nigga, it's all about light. That sun, that illusionary sun right there, is how ancestors speak to us. They talk directly to our melanin. So that's why when we in the sun, we get a tan. It's not that we're the sun people, we're the melanin people. The melanin comes to the top to receive the messages that are on the light through what they call D3. So let me give you niggas technique now. Overdose on D3. Damn, where's that book? Oh, right here. God damn it. Satan's in the building. Get a book called The Miraculous Results of Extremely High Doses of the Sunshine Hormone, Vitamin D3. My experiment with huge doses of D3 from 25,000, 50,000 to 100,000 IUs a day over 1 year period by Jeff T. Bowles. We can cut health, and he tells you all the health benefits of it. But the book, the miraculous result of vitamin D3, Jeff T. Bowles, Bowles, and he talks about ODing on vitamin D, which is the sunshine hormone. He said people started getting obese, sick when they started. Okay, man, when they started talking about we need to stay out the sun because ultraviolet rays are killing us. And to white people, yes. He, as a white man, I'm sure he is, says black people, they're receptors because we have all these receptors in our skin. When the sun shines on it, it activates the D3 in us. He said D3 is actually not really an aspect of vitamin D. It's some hormone, some whatever. He breaks it down in here. And he's like, basically, it's retaining the sun, all the health benefits, all the consciousness, all of this, all of that, all of this, all of that. So when you see all Akhenaten and them niggas eating the sun, what you really seeing is them niggas activating D3. We put too much emphasis on this fucking sun. Then we get, oh, this is an illusion. You know it's a fucking illusion because when you go into space, it's dark. So I thought this sun was lighting everything up. When you go into space, it's cold. I thought this sun was so fucking hot. When it hits our atmosphere, it does that. So what are we getting from the sun that is actually beneficial? Well, here it is, D3, what we call vitamin D3. If you need a book on it, and we need these high doses, that's going to activate it. That same melanin that comes to the surface and open up these receptors for vitamin D in the sun, on that light is the vehicle of the message that they give to the unconscious collective. That's how we know when trends are happening with niggas. That forces an evolution from the ancestor control. You as an individual, the hidden sun, Amun-Ra, to raise that up through self-deification, which I taught you niggas, is how you start to stand out from the masses of evolution and create or begin a personal alchemical or the alchemy, the evolution of self, which is why you become advanced as a conscious person and everybody else becomes advanced step by step. Niggas used to do that, but now niggas do that. Remember, we as the people they're moving too slow for somebody like you. What's the secrets, my nigga? D3. Because I would suggest read the book instead of just high doses, because D3 they say is not water soluble. See, if you OD on vitamin C, let's just say, which is another thing to do, and I want to say OD, it's huge doses, but there's a name for it, megadose. If you megadose on, right, thank you, Sophia, megadose on vitamin C, your whole entire reality would change. But see, vitamin C is water soluble, which means whatever the body don't use is going to shit out. If you got any shit problems, digestive problems, whatever, or just need to clean out, megadose. Vitamin C, get absorbic acid from a place called purebulk, purebulk.com. Purebulk. The website may be something different, but Google that and you'll see absorbic acid. Get very cheap, get the big smash of that shit. Get 2 big tablespoons of that motherfucker, guzzle it down, it's just really tart. Guzzle it down, you'll be shitting in moments, thoroughly. You'll get all the shit out your system. Your mind gets clear, your immune system. Like my son, getting this little cough, he was feeling all right. Gave him 2 teaspoons of that shit, that nigga shitted. That nigga said, shit, nigga, I could do cartwheels immediately. Megadosing on D3 is a little secret you niggas got right now. Ain't a secret no more. This shit gonna be out there. But get the book, because he tells you to take vitamin K2 with it, because little things are gonna change, like little calcium will go up. So to get the calcium out your blood to keep it where it's supposed to be, K2. So he gives you the book version of it so you can read and understand it. But you niggas need to understand the science of it, D3. So the vehicle is light. And until you gain enough light, walking around here with information is not light. Your personal understanding, your transformation of knowledge not your debating of knowledge, not your argument of your knowledge, not of your back and forth and you making a good point and winning does not make you enlightened. What you consider your knowing, your reality, even your truth, is what you got to go with. The only thing I can see the differences in that are you dealing with great truth or just minor truth or everyone else's truth or shared truth or one author's truth or one school of thought's truth. Those are where the problems come in. But even I'll do you better. Here's the real mentality you have. You're willing to throw away any truth you have right now for something that proves to you greater. That's the first thing I've ever heard come out of Bobby Hemmitt's mouth. Why'd you get into this, Bobby Hemmitt? He said, because I wanted to see where this take me, and I was willing to go wherever it took me, even if it was back to Jesus Christ. I said, God damn. And that always set up my mentality for studying. I'm willing to go to the next level. I shit on yoga. What they doing? They ain't doing nothing. Until someone said, well, let me do it for exercise. And when I did it, I got the point. My girl Courtney does Kundalini yoga, and y'all could get at her. You know, just email me. I'll give you her information. She's been doing it on Skype with people. She comes over once a week. And all the Kundalini that I've raised in my mind, I could see where the yoga would raise that same energy, which I'm able to do very easy based upon my level, and move it around the body for physical healing. So more than me just raising Kundalini for my spirituality, now I can see how I can move it through the body. But even then, I'm still saying I'm not learning anything. I'm feeling it, and where I can see if someone who doesn't study, who just does this yoga, in their mind, in their ego is telling them that they're advanced people. They're doing kinetic yoga and somehow they're advanced. No, nigga, you're exercising. You're just doing a more spiritual exercise. And that was so interesting. I already came to this determination. Then I watched something on Hulu, something about yoga. Just do a Google a search on Hulu for yoga. It was like finding yoga. And it was a documentary about a woman who was going to get a regular guy and bring him through yoga and see what he did. This nigga went all the way to India, talked to all these gurus. And even those fucking gurus, niggas was kissing their feet. I'm like, they not even saying, they saying the shit that I'm saying. I'm not even talking from my ego. I'm literally hearing them say the shit that I've said. Worse than I've said it. I'm just like, damn, really? That's the best? You woke up all this mountain and he said the shit that I'm saying? Then there's this yoga where he went to the deep into where all the shit came from. They don't even do none of them positions. Them niggas shitting on it. Man, that ain't nothing but all the shit I just said. That ain't nothing but exercising. He said, what about staying on your head? So that's nothing but exercising. He said, if you want to exercise, so what is yoga? Finding God. I'm like, hey, that's what we're doing. You're finding the God within. He said, yoga's in your mind. So, wow. All I need to do is sit on a fucking hill, dress up like them motherfuckers, grow a beard, and maybe these motherfuckers, all these debates and arguing on Facebook, will listen. These motherfuckers get their feet kissed, and they saying in a more dramatic way the same shit I say to you easy every day. I promise you it was. I promise you what. He said these words. I think I said it to you in class. If not, it's well documented. I did say it to you in class. Remember when I told y'all about sex and having an intention, that you could have sex for the intention of having a baby or sex for the intention of just fucking? It's the same act, but different intention. So it depends on your agenda. And really the third one, Tantric said, this motherfucking guru, Swami Dahami, the father of yoga, guess what he says? It's on the documentary. Watch it yourself. Y'all know I said it to you. Y'all know I said it in that context. He said, why are we doing yoga? He said, it's your intention. He said, you could do yoga for exercise and you could do yoga to reach God. He said the same act, two different. I said, God damn, I said the same. I say and have said the same shit in my class for a long time. Now, and this is not my ego. This is actual fact. I'm sitting there going, There's nothing in the world deeper that you're going to find than what we doing right here. Not that I'm the deepest. Not even that I'm the deepest, but we're talking truth to power here. This is the talk. And why I know and feel it's not my ego and I'm not the deepest, because I'm trying to get y'all to talk this same talk. Not what I'm saying or what I believe. I want to hear your version of reality, your version of truth. If you're dealing with the principles, I don't want to hear your fucking story or your fucking ego or your fucking opinion. I don't give a fuck. I got my own. And I got other motherfuckers that I got to listen to that live in this motherfucking house. Why do that? I want to hear somebody who's done some work to clear themselves of their minuscule ego and opinion and perspectives and theories and thinking, and to tell me some realizations. That's building to me. I build with you when you could tell me some self-realizations you had. Where I could go, good, your observation, because I can't observe it all. But I want to hear a nigga who's observing, not a nigga who's just talking out his fucking mouth. So when I hear these gurus say it, all it tells me, it didn't really need to tell me. But if I had to prove something to somebody, that you could listen to that, see, I was saying it, so I'm on point because niggas are getting their feet kissed. Niggas are Swami Ram Sham Namana for 30 years. They saying the same shit I say in class. I say in niggery. You fuck with different intentions. Sex, tantra, or having a baby. That's what self-deification is. Well, I know that, guru. I can say I'm a guru, I'm a swami, but I don't need none of them titles. Them niggas are in a part of the world where they need them titles. No, I believe, and let me say this, the only thing I believe in is what I know. I don't have blind belief. I believe in what I know. So when I say by I believe, it's the absolute same as me saying I know. And here's what the fuck I know. Every black woman, every black man can do what I do if you think what I do is so special. And you can do more if you think that more is special to you. So I am no more or no less a guru if we want to compare me to you and the people I'm talking to than anybody else here. But if you want to say I had to, as a standalone entity, you had to define me, well, I'm a student, I'm a teacher, I'm a guru, I'm a shaman, whatever title you want to name, yeah, because I'm a dabble in it. And I don't need to call myself that. Other people have. It doesn't matter to me, because whatever I am, I believe, and what I believe in, I know. So what I'm saying is I know you are that too. Otherwise, I would not waste my time talking to you right now. So those guys are these titles because somebody got to be it in those societies. But what I'm seeing each time I sit and hear them, all them swamis and the Dalai Lamas, I listen to see if they're going to say something that we're sitting in them fucking mountains, they saying some shit that I ain't touch on, ain't study, ain't figure out yet, and I cannot find it. They saying some of the most outlandish shit and saying so much shit that is so like, he said, and the guys asked, in the questions that this white man was asking, I said, he would have sat down with me 5 minutes and would have never had to went to India. I could have ended this. I don't teach white folks stuff. But let's pretend. I could have taught this, what he was asking, you know, what is spirituality? How do you find it in yoga? I'm like, man, motherfucker, I ain't answer that shit in 5 minutes. He's going around the world to find it. And motherfucker said, well, I don't know what to give up. Because I'm told you're supposed to give up when you do yoga. And then the dude's answer, what are you willing to give up? I'm like, y'all the same egotistical motherfucker. Don't answer me like that, motherfucker. Imagine if somebody said to me, panic, well, I know you're supposed to give this up for this, and give this up, and Kundalini means that, and that's like giving up that. What does that mean? What are you willing to give up? That means I'm not teaching you. I'm harping on what you don't know, because I know what that meant. And I know this guy didn't know what he meant. That's why he's asking. So the way he answering them, he was not explaining to him. All he was showing that dude was, I know what that means, and you don't. See, I remember all of these statements when you first learning. Every question is an answer. And even this guru said these words, there are no dumb questions, only dumb answers. Like, what the fuck does that mean? Or what it is. I get what it means because I understand it, but that's not profound. It's only profound to someone who's ignorant, and they used to tell you, you already know the answers. The answer's already within. Every question is really an answer. And all these, you're like, what the fuck does that mean? Explain that shit. Now from understanding DNA and Akasha and the spirits and us being connected to the all-knowing. So now, every question is an answer. See, what that means is, for instance, this. If I never seen a skateboard ever on the planet, I don't know they exist. Therefore, I can't ask you a question about a skateboard. But if I could say, what is that board with 4 wheels on it that people are riding? That means I had to see a skateboard and I know it exists. So that question now says there's an answer that you must know. You must know it exists for you to ask the question. Now, for a skateboard, it doesn't apply, but for metaphysics, why do we exist? To answer that question, that means you must see an existence. What is Kundalini light? To ask the question, you must have seen Kundalini light. So when they say every question, you really know the answer, that's what that means. But who the fuck is going to know that? That's a level you got to get to. That's something that can be explained as intellectual, but maybe you have to get to a level to really grasp it. Because when I did get the explanation, now I grasp it and understand the explanation because of my experience on a certain level of light. But when he's asking these questions, which are the basic first level questions this white man is going to answer, now I'd have told him, well, you're a fucking savage. That's why you don't get it. And your spiritual name, what's up, man? Your spiritual nature is a little bit foreign. That's why this is all foreign to you. So now, like, you wouldn't have to go nowhere. But like I said, I don't teach them. I teach my people. You know what I'm saying? Because, and you said, well, that's racist, and that's not what spirituality is about. Oh, no. What you're talking about is socialism. What I teach is for people with an abundance of melanin. My whole technique depends on you having an abundance of melanin to go to the levels I teach. I don't teach people with a little bit of melanin. And then, you can make the argument, that ain't melanin. That's not what melanin means. Well, I read Richard King's book, and Carol Barnes, and Bynum, what's his name? I can't remember his book or his name. And what they teach on it rings true to me. It rings true to my lifestyle. So you can tell me whatever scientist says about phenomelanin and neuromelanin, all this shit. But what they doing, it rings true to me and what I've seen in my people. So what I teach is based upon people with an abundance of melanin. White people, I don't include you. I told you what racism is. Racism is I told you the textbook definition and how that doesn't exist for us. And then I told you about this prejudice and this emotionalism. I don't have an emotional care about you. And I barely have an emotional care about my people. But I have a scientific compassion for their souls. And that's why I do what I do. I have a spiritual compassion for the souls. Yeah, Edward Bruce Bynum. Spiritual compassion for the souls. Me caring I'm not dense. If I see a little black girl getting beat up, a little baby, something happened, please, you still have a feeling, but my human reaction is not the same. I'm not going to humanly react to it. We on Facebook, I'm going to say, oh, that's fucked up. Oh, look at that dirty motherfucker. But I'm not going to go home, cry, make a Black Lives Matter shirt and want to do this to rally. Like I said, if I had $30, they said $30 would end it, I would pay that $30. You know what I'm saying? $40. But creating whole philosophies and movements, I'm not for that. What I want to do is empower you spiritually so we can change the planet. We lost the planet through losing our mind. We gained the planet back by gaining our minds. So I'm trying to give you the stuff to gain your mind. Put all the shit in the context to get you back on track, to start using your power. If all this shit happens in the astral world before it hits the physical, meaning anything that you need to change physically, we better become proficient in astral dynamics. Start there. If it's as a man thinketh, well, what are you thinking? And where does your thinking impact? If we know visualization and imagination and thought is what's driving the machine, what do you think? All you think is the white man is this undying entity that you need to fight. So that's why you always feel you need to fight him, and you never fight him. Just because you think you need to fight him. Stop thinking you need to fight him and start thinking you need to step back in your role as generator, operator, destroyer. Shiva, the god, the goddess. Step back into that role and really take control of all realities, including this one, which is the easy reality. It's only hard when you think it's hard. We know in basketball that the layup is the easiest and the three-point shot, let's just say, is the hardest, because we came to that determination. Oh, that's a layup. In fact, know what we call easy shit? Don't worry, that's a layup. I gotta write this book. You gotta write a whole book? Nah, nigga, I can write this book easy. It's a layup. So we know the layup to be easy. But we have now taken the layup and said it's the hardest thing we got going. Planet Earth is a fucking layup. But now we have classified the layup as the hardest shot in the game. You niggas ain't even trying to throw free throws or three-pointers or fucking hook shots and alley-oops. Y'all niggas are stuck on the layup. I like Jell-O pudding. So, getting back to the Dogon and culture, and we're using it for example, and then we're going to move on to altars and still chakras. Y'all niggas got a lot today. Oh, yes, you did. The Dogon people, let's just say, because they ate away, shit away, married away, when they die, because of this entrenched culture, their Dogon heaven, as they describe, where the spirits go, not the soul. See, the spirits go, if you did the Dogon mythology, they told you about the Po seed and Amma and all the rest of that stuff. Then they talk about different layers. Those different layers of heaven that they talked about every day, that's where the people are pretty much programmed to go. Why would they do that? Because now in America, when you have all these choices, all these ways to be, all these opinions, when you die, you're going to this astral world. If you're not in control and don't understand it, you're going to whatever heaven your mind creates for you for reasons that you don't understand, the same way your dreams are now created and you don't understand it. 1 minute you're here, 1 minute you're there. So when you astral travel, you'll start, that's what the point, let me get this right for y'all. That's what the point of astral traveling is actually knowing how to take your brain to locations. So you say, I'm gonna go to the Eiffel Tower tonight. And then I dreamt about the Eiffel Tower. It may be wrong in the motherfucker, but at least what you did was be able to take your mind and point it in a direction. So when you die, that direction becomes the world you create. Again, watch the movie, What Dreams May Come. In the movie, he's in this world, right? And it's this paint world, this tree in this house. And he's slipping and sliding, going through a little world. He said, where I'm at, he was saying to Cuba Good Jr., looks like a painting me and my wife bought. So me and my wife bought this. We hung this painting up in our house, in our first house, and we thought this was heaven. And Cuba Good Jr. said, yeah, you thought it was heaven, and now it is your heaven. You're in that painting. He said, but you're using real paint. Ha 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 ha. What's the point? What point were they making? They was making your interpretation of heaven is where you're going. So if you spend your entire life talking about the prowess of the white man, oh, I pity the fool. Because when you die, all you did was line your magnetism, your mind, and create that reality for you. Or even at the other end of the spectrum, you somehow go into a world where you're killing white people every day. Guess what? You still brought white people with you. You have to get to a place where they don't exist. Why do you think they kill you? Why do you think they beat you? Why do they think they're always injecting yourself? Because the more you're on the mind, the more your light travels, they get to hitch a ride on your light. Your light is what's leaving out this motherfucker. And they need a ride. And each time you talk about the sinister white man, what you're going to do, what you need to do, what we need to do, you bring them along with you. The worst thing we can do to this white man is show that he doesn't exist, because he really don't. So to make himself exist, he's going to beat you and say, look at me. He's going to kill your kids and say, look at me. He's going to poison you. First of all, he's going to poison his own food supply because he doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what he eats. So you're going to suffer. He's trying to come along for the ride, and you do it. So you create your heavens. So like the Dogon people create a culture, they create a place where these people can go systematically, where there's light. Because in that movie, What Dreams May Come, his wife killed herself, and because her kids died and he died, she was suffering on earth. She killed herself. In her astral world, she went to hell. She went to hell. Or her concept of hell. And the movie is him rescuing her from that, which was something that had never been done before, so on and such. And the point is, because of her tortured humanity, where she went after it was hell. Because we have all these different ideas of that's where we're going. And usually those things are not satisfactory enough, so we end up back on earth, not able to move on. So now when you got somebody like the Dogon people who create such a reality on earth, which comes from the astral world that they started there first through their ritual, through their dance, through their song, through how they do their rites of passage, you name it. What they were doing was impacting the astral world to create a space for their people to go when they die, like all other cultures were doing. So when the average Dogon person died, because of so much culture and ritual and connection and saying, I'm going to see the ancestors, he's going to that part of light in the astral world that they put aside for themselves. As opposed to some Dogon hell. And they might have talked about, which I don't think black people were, but eventually that came about, talking about a astral hell you will go to but most of that was to keep people in check before religion, saying, well, if you be bad, you're going to go to this astral place, and really here was the hell. You're going to reincarnate as a lower form based upon some karma shit. Now, so why would they do something like this? Because the person that's dead, if his spirit stays in that place, he's now joined the ancestors. Now his soul may move on. And like I said, his spirit is now part of the collective ancestors that we have memory of, and still empower them for wisdom and information. So now you're about 35 generations later from this guy's death. And there's a young girl named, where the fuck is Kimberly at? Hold on. Matthew's here. I was about to say Kimberly, but I don't see her in the class. Oh, she's in here. All right. So a young girl named Kimberly has a problem with a boyfriend, with crops, with whatever life may bring on planet Earth as a young Dogon girl. So when they say you could contact the ancestors, she can contact generations of Dogon people, because they all went to that same place based upon they all lived the same. They ate the same. slept the same, thought the same. The same way I said me and Dell were Crips, and even we go to Crip heaven or Crip hell, whichever you want to call it, probably a Crip hell. But that connection based upon our thoughts are the frequency that puts us in the same place. So that's a lot of also why cultures were important. Dressing the same, treating all the women the same, all the grandmothers the same, having babies the same, eating the same, all of that, because they had cosmology, they had mythologies, and they had it certified where'd you go. In other words, there was no confused fucking people around here talking about what happens when you die, because they were satisfied with where they were going. And they were going, their spirit knew how to magnetize and go to these particular areas based upon culture. Therefore, 35 years later, Kimberly can call on an ancestor because they know exactly how to contact their dead easy, because they put them in certain places in the astral world and ways to contact them. So they would say, this is the Dogon way to talk to the dead. This is the Ifa way. And all of this was based upon culture, was based upon the system of culture. So everyone in America trying to do the old indigenous African systems, it ain't going to work. Your culture is different here. So what you're trying to contact through a system was a frequency, kind of like tuning into a radio station. So once they were able to set up the culture and in all aspects a system, when you died, death was a part of the system of how you live. So when they contact the dead, they knew the frequency on how to speak to their ancestors because of how they lived, how they died, and where they went. And then they could do this for generation after generation after generation. So the young girl, Kimberly, can talk to her ancestors. That's 35 generations. Yes, we have one soul. Multiple spirits come with multiple lifetimes. Each time you have an incarnation, that incarnation has a spirit. Kimberly has a spirit. But that soul is that one divine spark of light. Now, so that's what I was trying to tell y'all. And I told you we'll come up about, let's say, the Dogon people. So that's how they create the ancestor realm. Not the only way, and I'm sure there's more in other ways. I'll see, but that's pretty much the tip and trick. If they know where they're sending them, they know how to access them later. Where that would fuck up is just the mere fact that you can go to Walmart right now and they got a whole aisle dedicated to different ice cream. As simple as that seems, that's why you fucked up, because of your choices. If you remember, you go to them ancient countries, it'd be 3 different ice creams: chocolate and vanilla and strawberry. You ain't getting razzleberry nut dressing, pecan, pistachio, cookies and cream party mix. You ain't getting all that shit. Because the old world understood, the more choices you gave, the more ego you expanded. That's why you'll hear when you see them old shows when them dudes from the old country, why are you going back to your country when your father died? It's my duty. I'm doing my duty. Because the old world understood you had a role. You couldn't deviate from that role because that role was your path. Arranged marriages. Oh, that seems so cruel, this arranged marriages. But they did it because it was the ego. For instance, if you in a culture, every girl and every boy is the fucking same. See, people don't understand that. That's called the right-hand path. People, they classified the left-hand path as just being evil. But truly, the left-hand path, by its true definition, is actually stepping outside the box. So it could be all good. See, Shaka Zulu was the perfect example, and everybody's seen that, of the left-hand path. while everybody was doing their normal Zulu shit, which is your culture, which is advanced, which is deep, which is better than this Christianity shit, which niggas is trying to follow, he was really a troublemaker within the realm of them. So they were on the right hand path, which is just a path of whatever. So the right hand path is not Christ or Jesus, and the left hand path is not the devil. The right hand path is just conformity, doing what everyone does. And you may excel at what is, you're a lawyer in here, but you're on the right hand path. You may be a doctor where the rest of your family is nothing but janitors. You're still on the right hand path. When you go against the norm of society, new message. When you go against the norm of society, that's technically the left hand path. So when Shaka Zulu wanted to shorten the spears and take off the sandals, left hand path. But again, these choices raise up the fucking ego. Hold on. See who's texting me. So these things raise up the ego. And in America, you ain't getting past it. We got a choice for everything. First of all, they said, I think it was in Super Size Me, said, man, there's over 100, at least on a franchise level, not even on a day-to-day level, on a franchise level, there's close to over 100 different burgers you can get. He said, that's why we fucked up. That's why they use cloned cows and corn-fed, not because they can't feed the people, because of all the different types of burgers we had. That's when they can't feed the people. Hardee's, Carl Jr.'s, Burger King, McDonald's, and then, 10 other different ways you can have a beef burger. Because if there was one place just called Hamburger, we'd be able to feed corn-fed, grass-fed cows, Angus, or whatever the fuck that is, with beef. So these choices are egos, or your ego. This uniformity in cultures, but not just because that was such a divine thing, as much as when we were already falling off, that was the kind of way to keep people's minds lined up with an idea. And that's why nobody knows nothing now, and everybody's debating now, because all your choices just raise up the ego. Everybody's these self-professed geniuses that came to the planet to save black people. Well, I told you some techniques and some of the visualization. Girls, same thing. I don't know girls' minds, but if you think about going to the club sitting on dicks, then do that. And I usually say, if your fantasy is having Idris Elba or Denzel Washington listen to your ass talk, then let that be your astral fantasy. Let Denzel or Idris Elba, King Kong ain't got shit on you, girl. You're the smartest one on your job. Yeah, that's right. I should have put the dishes back in the sink. Whatever the fuck you women like. Yeah, we're going to redesign the whole kitchen, baby. If that's what your fantasy is, and go in there. If it's sitting on the deck at the club, then do that. But the idea is to visualize yourself to sleep each night. And you will start to bring consciousness in the dream world. The more and more you do that, the more and more when you wake up, you'll be able to retain more and have a thorough understanding. Along with your understanding of symbology in the books I gave you, you'll start to be able to decode your dreams. Practice on decoding hidden messages in movies. Practice on that, because that's how you're going to decode the symbolism in your dreams. Following? Along with those books and any other books you find worthy, is your step down to astral traveling is the line in the sand. That's when you're going to say, I woke up and Jimi Hendrix talked to me, and Joe Louis talked to me, and James Brown talked to me, and Mayat talked to me, and Osiris talked to me, because that's going to happen through your lucid dreaming. So that's when you're going to start being the guy who can talk to spirits. the girl who could talk to spirits when you raise up that astral traveling. Any questions before we move on to altars real quick and chakras? All right. Anybody else? I like that. No, God, that means I was thorough on your asses. All right, give me a couple minutes. Um, Remember, I'm gonna do updates on my website, occultlectures.com. Y'all need to go there. Soon, I'm gonna have yeah. Mm. Hmm. Okay, if I would have seen when I see your order, I would have asked you if that's what you ordered. But sure, go ahead. That's fine. Yeah, if y'all got product pending, then I mail out all the time. You'll get it. You're just in the mix like everybody else. I mean, orders come in, product goes out. It just goes out in the system. It is what it is. I told all the time. I know none of you complaining about, but I say it all the time. You know, we in a system here. This ain't Amazon. This ain't eBay. You know. Yeah, no, I know. I'm saying it. Yeah, yeah, I'm saying in general. I'm not talking about you. Well, like I just said, no one's asked or hurried up, but I say it all the time. I'm saying because I might put this stuff on the web, so I'm saying it for other folks. Um, you know, stuff comes in, product goes out. Not Amazon or eBay. Just gotta wait. If you have a problem with time, do not buy the shit. I promise you. This stuff I offer is for your black ass. I don't need no herbs in my transformation, but I guarantee you, if you're interested at all in it, then that means you do need it. Just gotta wait your turn. You will get yours. Just gotta wait your turn. You know what I'm saying? Some motherfucker called PayPal, trying to get information just to ask me, call me and ask me about a $32 goddamn pack of herbs. Oh fuck, are you crazy? You can have your money back. That's my next no. You don't even want it back. I'm giving it to you back. I don't want to sell you shit. It's not that serious for me. Ain't no hustle here. It's real. This shit works. It's real. On the website, you can see it, occultlectures.com. Testimonials. Stephanie, you there? You got that reading from Khadijah. Is your mic working? No, Stephanie? I guess not. You got that reading from. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Put it on. Just I got the instructions on the website, but it should. Some people it works for others. Some people can't get enough. So it depends. It's all in your spirit. That's why you got to experiment and try these things. What I can guarantee. What I can, hold on a second. I can guarantee that the herb pack, everybody has a reaction, some form of fashion. Belladonna, some people more than others. Stephanie, does your mic work? But Khadijah, you gave you a reading. I just want to know how. Yeah. How did your reading turn out? Okay. Hmm. Oh shit. I'm gonna have, I'm gonna have to go check. I'm gonna have to go sneak. I'm gonna have to go sneak downstairs and check. No, no, I'm not. I'm not. I stay out of that business. That's none of my business. Whatever was said was between you and her oracle ass. I promise you that. There's a few of her readings that I am going to put online, but she's asking the people for permission first. And no, you don't have to. Don't worry about it. I'm not. No, you already said. You already said what I needed to hear. You just to reveal it. We good money. We good money. Don't worry about it. Your thing is safe forever. Which reading did you get? A Akashic reading, a gateway? Mm. Yeah, that's the one player. That's the one. And you're really talking mild. Some motherfuckers be calling me yelling. Oh my god! How did you do? I'm like, all right, good. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. 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 Go with your intuition, because you ain't feeling that. That's what I say. You ain't feeling it. Your spirit ain't feeling it. No matter what she say, you're gonna feel a certain kind of way. Like I said, you're gonna feel a certain kind of way. You know what I'm saying? So, do what's best. Yeah, she does the fairy readings, the gateway readings, the child readings, Akashic readings. She's got maybe a couple of more different types. It's crazy. Like I say, motherfuckers go crazy for them. I'm ready to get me one of them motherfuckers. Tell me who I am. I need that. So cool. I'm glad it worked out for you, Stephanie. I will do. Oh, see all this science that y'all been dropping, sweat lodge science. Oh Lord, uh, I'll tell her. I'll tell her. Somebody else was gonna say something. Some guy was about to say something. Thanks, Stephanie. Okay. No, mix it together. Any pack with a little pack in it, mixed together. No, it's just another herb. Just another herb to make it whatever pack it was, or whatever it does. That's what does it. All right, so give me 1 second. We're gonna move on because we supposed to be done now. So I'm gonna end this quite simply. Like I said, I'm doing some updates to the website occultlectures.com, so y'all niggas need to go there. Also, stay tuned because I'm developing another class really soon. And the class is just strictly how to channel spirits, how to talk to spirits. So it gets right down to the meat of that. And also the book is coming too. The book is coming like all right. It was already like sign me up. Oh yeah. When I announce it, just get in. It's going to be a little bit less. I'm going to only do 2 days, and it's going to be less money than this class. So we'll be able to knock it out. I'm gonna try to knock them out on Saturdays and Sundays because I know a lot of people who took this class already is going to want to take this, and a lot of new people who can afford a lesser class and just want to get to it is going to take this. So that's why I'm waiting until everything is everything. But like I'm still doing a lot of these classes. Of what? I'm lost. What CDs? Oh, oh, oh man. Who's got the time? I get it though. I get it, but man, I get it. Maybe if I found the time and the patience to do it, there's just so much to do. I'd rather be packing herb packs. You know what I mean? Enough people. If they're gonna buy it, they're supposed to buy it. You know what I'm saying? Because what you just said was a way to sell it. I'm really not trying to sell shit. I'm making it available. Y'all heard what I said on it. Y'all know who Hanneman is from who I talk. And if I'm fucking with it and I'm going to sell it, it's gonna be the shit. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. If they don't want it because they don't got a sample, then that's on them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to really find ways to sell more product. I'm pay my bills. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to find out a way to ball or hustle niggas or whatever. I pay the bills. It is just what it is. And I know what you're saying. If I was trying to sell this shit, you know what I'm saying? That's dynamite. I put Hanneman on the fucking site. But yeah, that's one of my favorite ones. That last song is either the last song or the second to last song. It's crazy on that shit. When that shit be going ding 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 ding, and that shit just keep building and getting faster, you'll fucking leave this planet, man. You just fucking leave this planet. You know what I'm saying? That weird lady. Oh, nine 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 ding 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 ding. Right. Oh my God. You would leave this fucking place because those shits are chants. They're not just songs. Those are the sacred chants of those deities. Oh my God. But see, that's my exact point. You got it, and you see what it is. That's you seek you searching for that, and you got that. I don't want to sell that to niggas. Oh, that sounds good, and I'm gonna get. I don't care about that. I want a nigga that says I'm gonna try that because I know what Hanneman is. I want you to find that gem. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to sell it to niggas. I want niggas to find the herb pack. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to oversell it to niggas. Then you become a salesman. I ain't trying to do all of that. Let them say, well, I know what Hanneman is. Exactly. I guess that's the way to say it. All right, we're gonna move on. Let me take a moment, a break, stop this. And the book will be out. The book will be out really soon too. So y'all stay tuned for that. We talking about soon. The cover is finished. So on on Monday, I call the printing place and see how much they want and how long it takes. And that, as you can say, will be motherfucking that.